The following is a presentation of the NBA Development League, home of NBA prospects. Visit NBA.com/D-League to see who makes the jump to the NBA.
City, California, folks, as we gear up for tip between the 11-8 Santa Cruz Warriors and 8-9 Maine Red Claws. Kevin Dana joining you courtside right now. We thank you for listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. Both Maine and Santa Cruz are coming off 1-1 showings at the 2014 D-League Showcase that was held in Reno, Nevada this past week. For Santa Cruz, they got their first ever victory at the Showcase, and they did it in big-time fashion, beating the defending NBA Development League champion, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, 127-115. It was a game in which Santa Cruz had an 18-point lead late in the third. RGV came back to cut it to 5 before the C-Dubs pulled away. And why did the C-Dubs pull away? Well, it's because Seth Curry is back in town, and one of the top prospects in the D-League, Seth Curry, had 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists in that game in his first game back from the NBA when he played in one game for the Memphis Grizzlies over the span of a couple of weeks. So he is back with Santa Cruz this evening, and he will play against Maine. He is in the starting lineup. We'll give you the starting lineups in a little bit. But for Santa Cruz, 27 points from Seth Curry, 23 from Cameron Jones, and he was named All D-League Showcase honorable mention alongside Seth Curry. So those two doing some very nice work. And it's a little bit of a revenge game for Santa Cruz, as of course the C-Dubs lost to the Rio Grande Valley Vipers 2-0 in the D-League Finals last year. So Cameron Jones had a very nice showcase as well. 23 points in both showcase games. Of course, the first one, a 101-97 loss to the Fort Wayne Mad Ants, a game in which the Santa Cruz Warriors blew a 22-point second quarter lead to the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. And now we have joining us Drew Schiller, who sits here in the broadcaster's booth.
Just in
Drew,
time.
Yeah.
I'm here,
Welcome
baby.
here, baby. So, some win over Rio Grande Valley, huh?
Yeah, pretty awesome. Anytime you can beat the team that's in first place in the D-League, they were 14-3, and they kind of out-RGV'd RGV. They were able to knock down 14 three-pointers in that, or 13 three-pointers in that game. They got contributions from multiple players. The one guy that did hurt Santa Cruz, Troy Daniels, 8 made three-pointers, but he's one of the best shooters in the world, and I mean that. So
he really is.
It's a great win for Santa Cruz. Now they come back home. We're going to see if they have some kind of tired legs, as the game was yesterday.
We were just talking about him before you joined us. Your thoughts on Seth Curry back here in Santa Cruz?
Well, it's a great addition for Santa Cruz. A guy that you're very happy for, that he got a chance to go get some experience in the NBA. Signed with Memphis on December 24th. He's with them for 6 games. Only gets 4 minutes of action in that 6th game. And kind of had a stat line that was all zeros.
Yeah, yep.
But he did have +6 in the plus-minus department, so that's good for Seth. But now he's back with Santa Cruz. He obviously is familiar with the system, familiar with the players, familiar with the coaching staff, and he showed that it was a seamless transition in his one game at the Showcase.
No assignees here. Nemanja Nedovic has been recalled to Golden State, and Marshawn Brooks, who had a big stint in the D-League with the Maine Red Claws, is back with Boston. Those two teams play each other tonight.
And he's over in Oakland, exactly.
So we're just about ready for the national anthem, but before that, this is a Maine team who is 8-9 this year, and they have a couple of really big prospects, Chris Wright being one of them, Romero Osby, who had a very nice showcase, being another.
He did 21 points in their win over Austin, and 20-9 in their loss to RGV. And Chris Wright, he's familiar with the Warriors organization, played 24 games for them in the 2011-12 season, was with the Golden State Warriors team in the Vegas Summer League, and then a little bit of a falling out. He leaves, and now he's landed on his feet here with Maine.
All right, now it's time for the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Eris.
Tip time between Maine and Santa Cruz.
Good
Santa Cruz 2-0 all-time against the Maine Red Claws, beating them 120-101 in Portland, Maine, and knocking the Red Claws off here in Santa Cruz 114-88 on February 23rd, 2013. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for this evening's contest, and let's start with the visiting team out of the East Division, and here it is for head coach Mike Taylor. His backcourt consists of Chris Babb and Marcel Anderson. The big man in the middle is the number 29 prospect in the D-League at Ty Walker. Chris Wright, the number 7 prospect, and Romero Osby, number 14 on the D-League's top 30 prospect watch. So there is a lot of talent.
Players.
Yeah,
absolutely.
very talented players, and they're doing it tonight without Frank Gaines, who is inactive with a hamstring injury, and he averages close to 18 points per game. A lefty shooter, number 4 for the Red Claws, will not suit up. Assistant coaches Tunde Adekola and Ronald Norred.
Absolutely, Butler.
Yep.
One of the great college players in Butler history.
Let's take a look at the Santa Cruz Warriors starting 5. Daniel Walele, Dwayne Dedman, the forwards, Hilton Armstrong, the center, Cameron Jones, and Seth Curry, the guards for head coach Casey Hill. In his first season, this is the same starting 5 from Thursday afternoon in a game in which Santa Cruz beat the Rio Grande Valley Vipers 127-115. Santa Cruz 11-8 this year, Maine 8-9. The assistant coaches for Casey Hill, Phil Hubbard and James Andrisovic. Now let's take a look at the upcoming schedules for both teams. As for Maine, they're going to stay here on the West Coast, and it makes financial sense. You play in Reno in the showcase, then you stick around for a little bit, play some other teams from the West Division.
Some very talented teams from the West Division. This is not an easy road swing for Maine. So, of course, Maine in the Eastern Division, they have to come out to the West Coast. Santa Cruz, as we've talked about throughout this season, will not make a trip to any of the teams in the East Division this season.
So up next, it's Bakersfield, who had one game in the showcase, or both the games in the showcase. They had 4 assignment guys: Dwight Bikes, along with Rudy Gobert, Ian Clark, and Jared Cunningham. And then it's off to Los Angeles, or El Segundo, to take on the defenders. Erie on the 18th, Canton on the 20th, and at Iowa on the 23rd. For Santa Cruz, it looks like this. At Idaho, they have a bit of a break. That game's not until next Saturday, January 18th. Sioux Falls comes to town on January 21st for their last home game, or for their next home game. The Skyforce having a very good season thus far. And then Santa Cruz hits the road again at Tulsa and at Texas before playing the Idaho Stampede on January 29th. That's a look at the upcoming 5 games.
So if you're Coach Casey Hill for Santa Cruz, you don't play for 8 days, which means that you should be expecting maximum effort from your guys, because you have a long layoff. They should leave it all out on the floor here tonight.
And here's a look at the East Division standings now. For those of you watching on YouTube, Canton just lost earlier today. They lost to the Erie Bayhawks, who got their 4th victory of the season.
No disrespect to the Eastern Division, but it looks like the Eastern Conference in the NBA.
It really does.
A couple teams above 500, and that's it.
Yeah, so Canton is at 11-7. Fort Wayne is 10-8 now after losing to Austin earlier this evening. Maine 8-9 in 3rd place. Springfield 4-13. Erie 4-12. And Delaware 3-15 in last place. In the Central Division, Rio Grande Valley still in 1st despite losing to Santa Cruz yesterday. They are 14-4, are the Vipers. Iowa in 2nd. That's a team you need to watch out for. Nate Bjorkgren's bunch is very good and looked very impressive at the showcase. Shabazz Muhammad was on fire the showcase, averaging 23 points per game there. With a 12-5 record, the Energy, Sioux Falls in 3rd, Texas in 4th, Austin in 5th, Tulsa in last. And of course, the West Division, Santa Cruz just a half game behind the Idaho Stampede. The Stampede 11-7, and Santa Cruz 11-8. Los Angeles, they've been playing some very good basketball. As you just pointed out to me, Drew, a 5-game winning streak.
5-game win streak for the defenders.
Reno 9-9. How about this? Bakersfield 9-10. They're in last place. So it's very much like the Western Conference
yes,
and Eastern Conference. So the Maine Red Claws will be in their road red uniforms. And Santa Cruz will be in the home whites. And again, for the Santa Cruz Warriors, the 5 on the floor: Dwayne Dedman, Daniel Walele, Cameron Jones, Seth Curry, and Hilton Armstrong. For the Maine Red Claws, it will be Marcel Anderson alongside Romero Osby, Ty Walker, Chris Babb, and Chris Wright. Officials today: Dawn Hudson, Crystal Hogan, and Michael Pearson. Drew, some quick keys for you?
Well, for Santa Cruz, this is a game where they actually could have a really good defensive performance. When you look at the numbers, Maine last in the league in field goal percentage. They're second to last in the league in three-point percentage. They're 14th in the league in free throw percentage. So I'm expecting a very, very good defensive effort from Santa Cruz tonight.
Ty Walker and Dwayne Dedman will jump it up. Of course, the Red Claws are also first in the D-League in opponent field goal percentage. Team's just shooting 42% against the Claws. So Santa Cruz will have it on the tip, going from left to right across your radio dial and YouTube screen. Curry whips it over to the left, the angle. Walele looking down low for Armstrong. He gets it to him on the block, squaring up against Walker. Jab step to the hoop and tries to throw it down over Walker. Not doing. Walker second in the D-League in blocks per game at 3.6. That is not a swat, but he does alter the missed dunk.
Maine leads the league in shot blocks per game.
Anderson over the left side. Osby dribble handoff. No, he's going to insert it down low for Chris Wright. Backing down Walele and misses the running hook wide right. Taken away by Santa Cruz. More of a fading away running shot, not a hook. Here's Seth Curry, draws 2 defenders, out to Dwayne Dedman. Open 20-footer, too strong, and into the hands of Anderson. Anderson will push for Maine. Sets up shop at the left wing. Guarded by Curry. Uses the Osby screen and picks it up. Gives it to Romero Osby. Nice shot fake. One dribble pull up from 18, and Maine draws first blood a minute and 5 seconds in. Romero Osby played his college ball at Mississippi State and Oklahoma. 51st overall draft pick of Orlando this past summer. Curry goes over left angle. Walele has his pass intended for Armstrong. Down low, deflected out of bounds by Chris Wright, the number 7 prospect in the D-League. So 11 on the shot clock, 10:39 game clock here for Santa Cruz in the first quarter, trailing the Claws by 2.
We need Santa Cruz to get a bucket so that way the fans will all sit down so we can see the floor.
Seth Curry will try to do us a favor, and he does. 2-2 after his long 20-footer. 10:28 to go. Osby, shot fake to the rack over Armstrong, off the glass, no good. Dedman skies for the board. And that's one thing Dedman does very well, but just 6.5 rebounds per game over his last 2. He leads the D-League in rebounding at 14 per. To the rack, it's Curry. The scoop, no good. Rebound, Osby, he will push. Osby, right down Broadway, loses the handle. Jones out ahead for Curry, and he gets swatted from behind by Marcel Anderson. Great play by Anderson there, and he will bring it across the timeline to a wide open Babb for 3. Too strong, out of bounds to the Sea-Dogs.
No, had Curry made that layup, I was just going to say there's a reason why Santa Cruz is 3rd in assists per game, because they are able to get steals, they get out in transition, and they get easy baskets. But Marcel Anderson, wow, impressive. The little man getting up.
Yeah. Curry over to the right side.
That's something they never said about me, the little guy getting up.
Can you get rim?
Come on, don't insult me.
Walele missed. Oh, all right. I mean, you're
barely.
Okay.
Barely.
Hey, can you dunk?
No.
All right. Anderson, the lob for Walker, who goes Aaron Gordon on the Santa Cruz Warriors.
Excellent body control by Walker, and you mentioned Aaron Gordon, of course, because of his dunk last night in transition on the alley-oop from T.J. McConnell.
Yeah, so a reverse slam on the alley-oop.
Pretty similar play.
4-2 Maine, though that didn't come from half court, that last pass. Here's Dedman backing down Osby. Santa Cruz down by 2. That fadeaway Jay, so pretty, but not this time. Rebound Anderson. 8:58 to go in the first quarter. Anderson has it right side. Picks up his dribble, throws left wing, Babb. They whip it around into the corner right. Going baseline on Walele, floats it up, no good, and tips it back in.
Kevin, Aaron Gordon went to your rival high school. Are you allowed to be a fan of Mr. Gordon?
He's from the 408. I'm a fan of anybody 408. Curry to the rack, even if he is a Monarch. Right wing three, Walele switches it home. He was 5 for 8 from downtown in his last game against the Vipers when he had 19.
And he's now 12 for 26 over his last 4+ games here. 4 games and 4 minutes into this one.
Bab fading away. That was after a prolonged slump.
Yeah, he was 1 for 17 over his previous 4 games.
7 for 34 overall from the floor. It's 8-5. Santa Cruz trails by 3. Curry wide open after the Dedman screen, and he catches it in from 18 feet.
We threw a lot of numbers at you there. Basically, Daniel Walele very hot over his last 4 games, and the previous 4, he was ice cold.
Yeah. Well summed up there, Drew. It's 8-7. Santa Cruz trails by 1, 7:56 to go. It's Bab to the rack over Jones and in on the little floater. 10-7, 7:50 to go. Jones going right back at Bab. Euro step. Nice feed for Armstrong. 1 dribble over Walker. No, he deflects it away from the rim.
Well, I like the aggression from Hilton Armstrong early, but that's twice now that he's gone to the rim trying to dunk and hasn't come away with any results.
And Dedman gets a swat on Osby. He leads the fast break with just right to beat to the rack, and he gets called for an offensive foul. Looks like he must have cleared off with that left hand.
Well, it looked a little awkward. And we're not used to seeing Dwayne Dedman lead the break. Might have been a travel as well, so we'll take a look at the replay here.
Here it is.
He reaches his hand out.
Yeah.
Kind of touches him on the chest.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of contact, but it is Maine basketball. 7:22 to go in the first quarter. Anderson right side, top of the key, Walker. Walker surveying the scene. Number 29 prospect gives it off for Bab. Recently reinserted back into the lineup, coming off an injury. Osby also has had some injury troubles this year. He's missed 6 games thus far. Fadeaway J not quite for Walker. Offensive rebound right up and in. And the Claws are off to a good start, leading Santa Cruz 12-7. Curry across half, goes to the right angle, man by Anderson, whips it out. Dedman, open 17-footer, and he is so good from the mid-range. He hits that one, and it's 12-9. Dwayne Dedman cuts the lead down to 3. And Anderson gives it off for Osby, jab step, and whips it around. Here's Wright, right down the lane, and tries to throw it down over Armstrong, but a foul is called. He missed the dunk, but will shoot 2.
You get an idea of why Chris Wright has spent some time in the NBA. The athleticism, the aggression, confident player.
He was in preseason training camp with the Toronto Raptors, played in 5 preseason games for them, spent summer league with Toronto and Indiana. Missed the first free throw there.
Kevin, that looks like a new net.
Yeah, it does. So
that's all I got.
I wonder how often they replace the nets here. He hits the second one. He's a 72% foul shooter. And it's 13-9 Claws. Curry has it left side. Has 2 on him, to the rack, and his pass is deflected by Anderson, ripped away by Walker. Fast break for the Claws. Osby for Bab. He's fouled and scores off the window.
And if you're Walele, you gotta foul Bab harder than that. Do not allow him to make the layup and get a chance for the 3-point play.
So that is Walele's second personal now, and let's see if Casey Hill goes to the bench. He's looking down there. Maybe Dominic McGuire? No one comes to the scorer's table yet, so he'll let him play momentarily. Bab with the free throw, it's good, and the Claws lead by 7. It's 16-9, 6:15 to go in the first. Seth Curry across the timeline, looking right side. Picks it up, gives it to Dedman. Clears out Anderson, now goes for Walele. Over to the left angle, Jones. Cam on the deck, number 26 prospect. Right to the cup and scores.
Patience. The great thing about that move is that when he attacked the middle, he had his head up the entire time, not looking at the basket, looking to see if anybody was going to be open for a potential lob, and at the last second he sees the crease, attacks it, and finishes.
Anderson for right, driving left, spin move in the lane, off the glass, wild shot taken away by Hilton Armstrong, who falls to the floor and gets it off to Seth Curry. 16-11, Santa Cruz trails Crustacean Nation. 5.5 to go in the first. Here's Seth between the rings. Looking for Walele, picks up his dribble and goes to Daniel. Out of Air Force, a 27-footer, not quite down to two, too strong. Rebound Anderson, he will push. Has it top of the key, waits for his teammates, it's Babb. Inserts it mid-post, Osby, right baseline, jab step, now goes baseline on Devin, and a blocking foul has been called with 5:11 to go in the first, and that will be a personal foul on Devin, his second, so a little early foul trouble for Dwayne. 5:11 to go in the first. Maine 16, Santa Cruz 11. We'll be back in 90 seconds. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. It's 16-11 Maine over Santa Cruz with 5:11 to go in the first quarter. How about that feed again to Ty Walker off the alley-oop? That was a really nice play, and Chris Babb getting into the lane there as we take a look at some replays.
Oh, you see these replays, they're all easy baskets.
Yeah.
We were talking about a Maine team that was last in the league in field goal percentage entering the game tonight, but they're getting some easy buckets against the Santa Cruz defense.
7 for 14 from the floor are the Claws already. As you see Chris Babb on your screen now, the inbound comes to Osby, goes over to Abdul Gaddy, seeing his first time out of Washington. At one point was the #2 point guard in his high school class behind John Wall.
The McDonald's All-American.
Left-handed lay-in, not quite there for Chris Wright. And Dominic McGuire's into the game for Santa Cruz, so it's Armstrong, McGuire, Will Buford as well, his 24th birthday this evening. Seth Curry and Cameron Jones. Jones has it from Seth, guarded by Babb, gets a screen from Hilton, goes to the left elbow, pulls up from 17 and gives it off for Buford. Cross-court pass, right back, 3 on the shot clock. Jones puts it up with 1 short, tipped up and out. Hilton will save it. No, it was on the sideline, and it will go back to Maine. Zeke Marshall also in there. Let's reset the lineups for you. Babb, Marshall, Wright, Gaddy, and Osby for Maine. Curry, McGuire, Armstrong, Buford, and Jones for the Sea-Dubs. 4:28 to go in the first quarter. 16-11 Red Claws. Osby goes left side. Here's Babb driving left.
Nice move.
Jumper from 18 is short from the left baseline. Tipped in by Chris Wright. And Wright trying to get himself a call-up. He's having a very nice game so far. 7 points right alongside Babb. Maine by 7 as Curry goes over left angle, looking down low for Armstrong. Has him working on Marshall. Jab step, one way. Shot fake, spin move, puts it up off the glass, and it rolls in. Nice move there for Hilton Armstrong as Damon Bell Holter comes to the scorer's table. An Alaska native. Driving left, it's Chris Wright over Hilton Armstrong, no good, puts it back up, not quite. Zeke Marshall's there to clean up the mess. 20-13, Maine by 7, and quickly the other way, it's Seth Curry. Has it at the left wing now. Looking to post up Hilton Armstrong, working on Zeke Marshall, backs him down, muscles his way to the rack, and he is fouled. And Well, that's an advantage that Hilton Armstrong's going to look to take advantage of, for lack of a better word, every time down the court.
And for Seth Curry, you got to come down, and if they're not going to double, you got to keep feeding Armstrong on the block until Maine makes an adjustment.
Well, on the season, Hilton Armstrong averaging 13.7 points and 7.7 rebounds. And at the foul line this year, 76%.
That's a terrific percentage for a 7-footer.
Of course,
and you jinxed it, not my fault.
Here's a look at his last move. Zeke Marshall got a lot of his arm and some ball. Damon Bell Holter replaces Romero Osby. One more coming up for Armstrong, the number 8 prospect in the D-League. Played in 7 games with Golden State earlier this year. It's 20-14 after he splits the pair. 3:22 to go in the first quarter. Gaddy bounces it over right side. Wright going to back down Buford a little bit and throws it top of the key. Backing it out is Gaddy now. Screen from Marshall. Going left. Picks up his handle and throws it for Babb. 6 on the clock. They post up Marshall. Gets into the paint. Turnaround Jay swatted away by Hilton Armstrong. Cameron Jones down the left side of the court. To the hoop he goes. Into the corner. Buford for 3. And he cuts it to 3. Will Buford with his first bucket of the game. Happy birthday, Will. It's 20-17. Almost a walk there for Chris Wright as he takes it to the rack, throws it out. Babb driving baseline over to the left angle. Bell Holter for Babb. Babb on the hop with it, guarded by McGuire. 10 on the clock, sizes him up. Now he's going to post up Bell Holter, working on the smaller Cameron Jones. Nice move to the hoop and muscles his way to the cup for the bucket.
Another layup for Maine. They're getting high percentage looks.
And the advantage down low there. Curry to the rack, swatted away by Zeke Marshall, who just waves his head, no sir. Babb down low, nice feed. Bell Holter, second side lay-in's good. Again, another easy deuce for the Claws. 24-17, Corey Allman's gonna come into the game. But here's Curry, goes left angle, and Cam Jones can't handle it with 2:04 to play. That will take us to the mandatory timeout. So far so good for Maine here. About 10 minutes in, 2:04 to go in the first, 24-17. Maine on top of Santa Cruz. We'll be back in a minute and a half. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. Here at Kaiser Permanente Arena, it's 24-17 Maine over Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz has been able to get some good looks at the hoop, including this take by Cameron Jones. It was his first field goal of the game, and then the spin move to the rack for Hilton Armstrong. But the trouble has been a lot of easy buckets for Maine.
Now we're seeing one right here inside, Bell Holter. Maine shooting 48% so far. Kiwi Gardner finally into the game for Santa Cruz, and he's going to be pressuring Abdul Gaddy, and what do you know, right away, forces a turnover.
Yeah, Gaddy slips, and it's knocked out of bounds off his shoulder. Kiwi Gardner forcing the turnover there. So it's Gardner, Armstrong, McGuire, Michael Thompson into the game as well for the first time. And Will Buford. It's Bab, Bell, Holter, Corey Allman into the game, along with Zeke Marshall and Gaddy. Down the lane, off the glass and in with the left hand. It's Will Buford for his second bucket. 24-19 Red Claws.
Buford, 18 points in 19 minutes against RGV, so he has given Santa Cruz terrific production and kind of limited minutes off the bench.
Down low goes to Bell, Holter, baby hook, rims in for him. Nice looking shot there for the Alaskan product. It's 26-19.
He's from Alaska. Carlos Boozer has got to be his idol.
Yeah, Heidelberg, Alaska. I hope I'm pronouncing that hometown correctly. Free throw line, Gardner for Armstrong. Left baseline, Jay's good. 26-21. Gotta be, right? 1:10 to go, driving left. Gaddy, alley-oop for Marshall, not quite, can't finish. And McGuire gets the rebound. Out ahead for Thompson. Thompson driving baseline, stopped and cut off by Bab. Now Armstrong. The shot fake puts it on the deck. Backdoor pass isn't there for Buford. Instead, he goes for Gardner. 10 on the shot clock. Kiwi to the rack. Working on Gaddy. Throws it out. Armstrong from 17, fading away. Not quite. Rebound, Bell Holter. And he leaves it off for Gaddy. Extra feed, Bab. Bab, 26 feet from the hoop, left side. Gets a screen from Marshall. It's an illegal screen, and it will go back to the C-Dubs with 40.2 to play in the first. So Santa Cruz ball down 5 here. Maine has not come within 19 points of Santa Cruz in their first 2 meetings all time. Santa Cruz won 120-101. A big game for Mikel Gladys in that. 16 points and 7 rebounds against Fab Mello and the Maine Red Claws on January 25th in Portland, Maine. And then 114-88 here, Santa Cruz over the Red Claws on CBS Sports Network. To the rack it goes McGuire for Armstrong. Tries to reverse it and gets swatted, taken away by the Claws. Maine can hold here. Gaddy throws it over for Bab, and they will hold things up. Bab puts up one finger and gives it off for the former Washington Husky, guarded by Gardner out of Oakland. Puts it on the deck with 8. Goes right, gets a screen, switches directions, kicks it into the corner. Almond for 3, too strong. Armstrong can't get the rebound, and we're going to have a foul. No, a kick ball, I believe. 1.7 is the call. And who kicked it? Must have been Hilton Armstrong, because they're staying on the half of the floor where Maine's bench is, which is the basket that Maine is shooting at right now.
It looked like Abdul Gaddy had gotten into the lane. Could have gone in for a layup, but instead he kicked it out for the open 3.
Well, he is a point guard at heart.
A pass first point guard all the way.
Yeah. And maybe that's one reason why people thought he didn't quite live up to the hype, because a lot of point guards are also scoring guards, and Gaddy isn't really it. Let's take a look at that replay really quickly. And
he definitely kicks it.
Yeah. Big thank you to Daniel, James Howell, and Craig Judson.
What is Armstrong thinking in that? That he's not.
Yeah, I don't know. World Cup is only, 4 months away now? 4.5. Bab to Almond, contested 3 is well short. Not even sure he got it off in time. That'll do it. 12 minutes down, 36 to go, 26-21. Lobsters over the C-Dubs. We'll be back in 90 seconds. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. It's 26-21 Maine leading Santa Cruz as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. We're going to see some Santa Cruz highlights. They've done some good things offensively, but the one number that sticks out to me, Drew, 17-7 Maine on the glass.
6 offensive rebounds for Maine has led to 8 second chance points. And so here, if you take a look at the highlights, Seth Curry in his second game back with Santa Cruz doing some work. Dwayne Dedman, so adept at that outside jump shot for a 7-footer. And then William Buford, 5 points in 5 minutes off the bench for Santa Cruz. He's basically getting a point every minute he's in the game.
Yeah,
Not just tonight, but in the recent past as well.
If you give him starters minutes, he'd average 36, right?
Of course, easily.
So 5 on the floor for Santa Cruz. It's Buford, Thompson, Kevin Kotzer for the first time, Dominic McGuire, and one more guy. Oh, it's Kiwi Gardner, who's hiding behind his coach. Sometimes it's tough to see those
small.
5'7" guys.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Corey Allman, Marcel Anderson, a very small backcourt for Maine as well right now. Damon Bell-Holter, Ty Walker, and Chris Wright. So Anderson, guarded by Kiwi Gardner.
Santa Cruz in his own defense.
Yeah. McGuire, they throw it down low. Bell-Holter, left block, working on Kotzer, takes him to the rack. Back out for Anderson, unleashes a 3, in and out, no good. Rebound, finally grabbed by Kevin Kotzer. Was there for the taking for a little bit. Now Gardner takes it over to the left angle. 20 points against Fort Wayne a couple of games ago. He's averaging around 6 per contest. McGuire going to work on Walker. Backs him down. Up with the right, no good, but he draws the contact and will go to the line. And, well, Drew, this is your first look at Dominic McGuire. You had a family commitment on January 4th in Pac-12 Network's work. Your thoughts on Dominic McGuire?
It's a guy that has a lot of NBA experience. He's been through some battles. He's going to come down here. He obviously is here just simply because he loves basketball. And he's a guy that can impart some knowledge on a lot of these younger players for Santa Cruz.
Very nice.
Be nice to see him make a free throw.
Yeah, very nice young man as well. 28 years of age. As you see the replay there going up over Ty Walker. Ty Walker's not going to make anything easy at the rim. He's already shown that so far. Second free throw good for Dominic, and it's 26-22. Santa Cruz down by 4.
McGuire is familiar with the Bay Area. He started his collegiate career at Cal.
Then transferred to Fresno State, not too far off, about a 2.5-hour drive. Bell-Holter almost had it ripped away by Kiwi Gardner. Now Almond, jab step, right elbow 3, good from the right angle rather, and it's 29-22. Almond with his first triple. That's his average basically, 2.9 per contest. So here's Kiwi Gardner. Gardner throws it over for McGuire. 8.3 points, 7.7 rebounds this season. Manned by Walker, overhead pass, almost taken away. It goes right to Thompson, puts it up through contact, and will go to the line. And Michael Thompson hit a 3 for just the 5th time this season in the last game. He struggled a little bit with his shot this year from downtown, to say the least, right around 17%. But he can shoot, and he has been very solid on the defensive end. See his averages, 3.6 points, 2.7 boards. Older brother of Clay hits the first, and it's 29-23. Of course,
we got a big group of fans in the corner who
wow, yeah.
had an abnormally loud cheer for that made free throw.
They must be from UCSC.
They're going
that's awesome. That's like maybe a group of about 75, no, 50 people or so, 30. All right, I don't want to
college
exaggerate
kids.
too much. Yeah.
We've seen a bunch of them drinking beers.
They're
having a blast.
Good time out. Why not? Between the rings, Bell-Holter. He'll take it right.
Let's join them for the end of the game.
Corey Allman.
Broadcast from up there.
The fadeaway J, no good, too strong. McGuire gets it. Driving to the hoop. Dishes it out. Thompson wide open 3, and now he's starting to feel it. 29-27. He has 5 just like that. Chris Wright's going to come right back at him. Takes Thompson to the post. Gives it off. Bell-Holter fading away from 12 is short. McGuire pulls down the miss. Dominic will push. And the former Bulldog and Golden Bear gives it off to Gardner. Whips it over left angle, and Buford lost the basketball, took his eye off it. He's not happy with himself also. Romero Osby's going to come in. Not sure there's a more polite guy in the D-League than Romero Osby. He was being interviewed by some people at the showcase, and every cameraman and everyone who held a mic to him, he shook his hand, said thank you, and appreciated the support. Taking a look at him right now.
That's smart.
Yeah.
High character guy, word gets around. If an NBA team is kind of teetering on the brink of which player to pick.
Yeah, it is smart. And Marcel Anderson just got called for a carry. Abdul Gaddy's going to come in.
Nice guys don't always finish last.
Not always, no. Hilton Armstrong got a call up. Widely considered to be one of the good guys in the D-League and the NBA. Buford has it. Draws two defenders to the rack. The floater's up too strong. Kotzer fighting for the rebound. It gets tipped out to Will. Will, right baseline now, and he takes it to the angle beyond the arc. Lobs it down low. Nice feed for Kotzer, who gets swatted from behind. Casey Hill wanted a foul. Fast break for the Claws. Anderson up and one. Yes, the foul is called, and the bucket goes.
And Maine, they really defend the rim. We've already mentioned it. They lead the D-League in blocks per game. They hold teams to low shooting percentages, and that's exactly why.
Kiwi Gardner picked up the personal there, his first, team first. 9:34 to go. Yeah, and they're doing this without Fabricio Melo. Of course, last year he swatted 14 shots in one game. That's a D-League record.
You love yourself some Fabricio Melo.
Yeah, I love that first name. It's one of the best first names of all time. Maybe not as good as Corperial Harris. Off the glass, no good. Of course, we're talking about Manny Harris, who supposedly has 37 points through 3 quarters right now in a game at Idaho for the defenders.
And I don't think Chris Wright had any idea where he was passing that ball.
Main turnover. Santa Cruz with it. It's Gardner on the left wing, guarded by Marcel Anderson. It's a screen going right. Gardner to the rack. Pass thrown behind Kotzer, but fortuitous hop to McGuire, who hits the long-range deuce from the left side.
Is Kiwi getting an assist for that?
Yeah, why not? 31-29. It wasn't a turnover. Didn't touch a Red Claw.
I think the pass was intended for a rolling Kotzer in the basket.
It certainly was, and Gardner almost ripped it away from Anderson. Anderson gets it left elbow, feeds Osby in the lane, and he is bumped by Kotzer. 2 free throws coming up.
Fouls on number 17, Kiwi Gardner, second personal.
We're going to have
second team foul.
Kiwi Gardner's going to be called for the foul. I thought that would have been on Kotzer.
Number 24.
I don't think Gardner was anywhere near the play.
Yeah, I'm going to see Romero Osby at the free throw line. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Kotzer was the only guy there. Osby's first free throw is good. Here's the replay. And he might have gotten on the elbow.
No chance. No chance.
I'll take Don Hudson, Michael Pearson's, and Crystal Hogan's word for it. But first free throw is good. There was a foul on the play. Just appeared to be on Kotzer, not Gardner. Second one coming up. No good. 32-29, Maine by 3. Another very nice crowd on hand tonight. I imagine it's a sellout, though that's not official yet.
Friday night in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, nothing better to do. Gets bounced over to Curry. Free throw line, draws 2. Left corner 3. McGuire catches it in, and we're all knotted up.
Dominic McGuire, definitely not known as being a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And if he can show that he can make that shot consistently, a guy with prior NBA experience, he's got a chance to get back.
Wright misses the tip in, not quite there, then wrestles it away from Kotzer, misses his putback once, twice. He missed 2 absolute bunnies, and then Michael Thompson draws a charge. And that's why you like Michael Thompson on the court, because he can really defend, and he doesn't mind hitting the deck.
Well, you also got to respect Chris Wright's tenacity.
Yeah, good hustle here for Wright.
I mean, that's several times in this game. We see him going inside, not afraid to bang bodies.
He had 4 offensive rebounds after the first quarter. James Mays had 12 offensive rebounds for Maine last year against Santa Cruz. That is a Santa Cruz opponent record. We're going to have a foul down low. Romero Osby called for the foul, bodying up Dominic McGuire.
You can just tell Osby's a nice guy, just asking the ref what he did there. Okay, I know what I did.
Yeah,
thanks for letting me know.
He wasn't just putting on a good face for the showcase. Michael Thompson to throw it in, gets it to McGuire, left side.
That's Southern hospitality.
Yes, there it is. Driving left, and he's stripped by Osby. Osby's going to lead the fast break. Osby, no-look bounce pass for Wright, and it's showtime in Surf City. 34-32, big-time throwdown there for Chris Wright. Former Golden State Warrior gives Maine a 2-point lead. And the net's still hung up on the rim on the other side.
They got to have the ball boy take the stick that they use for the broom and get that net down.
Curry.
Or they just need me to jump out there. I could maybe get the net down.
Straightaway three. Buford cashes it in. 35-34. Santa Cruz on top.
Does anybody else know that the net is up except for you and I?
Thompson gets the steal. And the alley-oop from Will Buford. 37-34. How about that? Michael Thompson not known for his athleticism. But a timeout's going to be called. And the fans are on their feet here at Kaiser Permanente Arena. 37-34 Santa Cruz. This is a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. But wow, Michael Thompson having a second quarter to remember, Drew.
And you also got to like the pass from William Buford.
Oh, yeah.
And the two were on the same page immediately. I did not expect to see a lob in that situation. Buford caught the pass, and he immediately, I think his thought was, I'm throwing this ball on the rim right away.
Well, first, here's Dominic McGuire. That tied it up at 32, the corner three. Then Buford, the deep straightaway three. That made it 35-34 Santa Cruz. Then Thompson gets the steal, gives it off for Buford, and gets it right back on the alley-oop.
I mean, it was like hot potato for Buford. Yeah. Thompson gave him the bounce pass, and he immediately flicked it right at the rim in a perfect position for Thompson to go get it.
And now everyone here at Kaiser Permanente Arena is singing happy birthday to Will Buford.
That's awesome.
That is.
And Buford's getting into it. He's being the composer.
Dwayne Devin, Seth Curry, Michael Thompson, Kevin Kotzer all on the floor. And Will Buford gives a nice hand gesture to the crowd, acknowledging the song.
That's awesome.
That is very
And you know what? I see a shirt up in the crowd of that section. I see a Greek week.
Yes.
This might be a Santa Cruz frat.
Hey. You know, I don't know about the UCSC Greek scene. He goes into the corner.
I heard it's wild.
Must be. Reverse layup, not quite for Chris Wright. I can only imagine. 20-footer for Osby, too strong. Gaddy, the offensive rebound. Babb for a deep three. Wide right, tipped up. Another offensive rebound. Maine is just absolutely destroying Santa Cruz on the glass right now. Here's Babb to the rack. Gives it off for Walker. Chest pass, Osby. Nice shot fake. No, maybe not. It's a travel.
No, I think we're going to get a
foul?
Three in the... No, it's
a foul on Will Buford, excuse me.
I thought it was maybe going to be a defensive 3-second.
So, Maine had 6 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. They had like 3 or 4 on that possession. And then, of course, there was Chris Wright's 2 or 3 attempts.
And at the end of the first quarter, Santa Cruz had 0. Not sure what the exact stat is at this point.
I think Kotzer tipped an offensive rebound out to Will Buford. We are going to get some updated stats. Matt Dinesher, one of the best PR directors in the D-League. Osby from the right wing. It's too short. Another offensive rebound, and then a 3 for Abdul Gaddy. Not quite known for that, but he ties it up at 37.
No, he's known for his passing. He had 13 assists in Maine's win over Austin at the Showcase.
118-92 over the Toros, the single affiliate of the San Antonio Spurs. Maine, of course, affiliated with Boston. 37 apiece.
Foul.
Curry from 18, it's short, and the rebound goes to Gaddy. He will push. In and out dribble, and he's fouled by Michael Thompson with 5:40 to go, and that takes us to the under 6 mandatory. 5:40 to go in the first half. Maine 37, Santa Cruz 37. We'll be back in 90 seconds. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. 37 all between Maine and Santa Cruz with 5:40 to go in the first half. And there's been a lot of highlights in this game, a couple of dunks. First, nice no-look feed from Osby to Chris Wright for the throwdown. And then you have the alley-oop, Buford to Thompson. But, Drew, the offensive rebounds for Maine has been the story of this one. It's the reason they're in this game.
You're absolutely right. And surprisingly, Maine only has 8 second chance points off of those 11 offensive rebounds. So they're getting the rebounds. It hasn't killed them in terms of, although I think that's wrong because Abdul Gadi just hit a 3 off of an offensive rebound. So I think that number is going to go up.
Yeah, so that would be 11. But still.
Oh, right, because this was right before exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, every time they get an offensive rebound, they're getting a point out of it.
But Drew, we just looked this up. Maine is 13th in the D-League in offensive rebounds per game at 11.9.
So they're 1 away from matching their average for the season, and we still got 28 minutes, 30 minutes in this game.
Right, a right wing 3, 40-37 Claws. Hit that one over Michael Thompson. And Chris Wright has 12 points to pace the Claws. There's Seth Curry over to the left side. Now beyond the arc with 15 on the clock. Gets a screen from Armstrong, driving right, has it beyond the arc, bounces it down low, taken away. Gaddy with the theft. He leads the fast break, pushes it over to Babb. Babb left side, and he'll throw it down low for Walker. The floater's up and in for him from 6 feet out. Help side D a little lacking there for Santa Cruz. Seth Curry had to front the post there, didn't have much of a chance. 42-37 Maine by 5. 4:45 to go in the first. Here's Curry. First half, that is, over to Dedman, working on Osby. Jab step goes baseline and has to give it off. 5 on the clock. He needs a teammate to come to him. Gets it to Thompson with 2, with 1, and that's a 24-second shot clock violation. So Corey Allman will come into the game. He replaces Chris Wright. Good first half for Chris Wright. Dominic McGuire is going to come back in as well at the next dead ball alongside Cam Jones. So here's Abdul Gadi out of Washington, Tacoma product. Goes to Walker. Now it's reversed over to the left wing. Babb driving left to the hoop, bounces it off. Walker off the glass and in. 44-37. It's a 10-0 Red Claws run. Curry going right and angles to the right side over for Buford. Has it at the right angle. Going baseline, flips it out. Dedman, he'll take the 20-footer over Osby, halfway down and out. And a foul called on Ty Walker for getting too physical with Hilton Armstrong. It's going to bring in Cam and Dominic McGuire. Zeke Marshall replaces Ty Walker. You see the last foul there on Ty Walker. That's his second personal. 14 fouls for both sides. Santa Cruz basketball. It gets thrown into Seth Curry. Gets a screen from Armstrong. Illegal screen. We'll go back to the Maine Red Claws. By 7. Osby will throw it in for Gaddy.
Pretty cool for the Santa Cruz lineup on the floor right now. 4 of the 5 guys have NBA experience.
Yeah.
If Michael Thompson were in the game for Cam Jones, you'd have 5 guys that have played games in the NBA. And Cam's been in an NBA training camp.
Yep. Also Summer League with Golden State. Won the first ever Summer League championship. Crossover dribble. Gaddy out to Almond. Right wing 3. Too strong. Pops off the back iron. Tipped around. Dedman gets it. Throws it up for Seth Curry. Curry. No look pass into the corner. Cam Jones for 3. It's down to 4. 44-40. Cam Jones with his 5th point of the game there.
And that's his 34th made 3 on the year. He made 19 all of last season.
Almond to Babb, jab step, back for Almond. He bounces it to the mid-post. This is Osby driving left. Has it deflected by Dedman.
Great
now
play.
Jones will rip it away, but it goes to Almond, and they repost Osby. 3 on the clock, driving right, and a blocking foul is called. And Dwayne Dedman has just picked up his 3rd. And with 2:59 to go, they'll take us to the under 3 mandatory. Maine 44, Santa Cruz 40. We'll be back in a flash. You're listening to Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and watching it on the NBA Development League Network. 44-40, Maine leads Santa Cruz with 2:59 to go in the first half as Santa Cruz comes out of the timeout. You see Cameron Jones on your screen. Had a great showcase, all showcase honorable mention alongside Seth Curry. Romero Osby was first team all showcase as selected by NBADleague.com.
Yeah, Cam Jones did absolutely nothing to hurt himself at the showcase. 23 points per game, shot it over 50%. And the one thing, and I mentioned it a couple moments ago, is his ability to shoot the three, his improved ability to shoot the three. He was 5 for 7 from deep over the 2 games.
First free throw from Romero Osby is good. That makes it 45-40. Kotzer has supplanted Dwayne Demon in the lineup because Dwayne has 3 fouls. And Osby to make it a 6-point lead. This one's too strong, and McGuire skies for the miss. Dom will bring it across the timeline. McGuire has it. Gives it off for Curry, and Seth will go right. Between the rings, bounces it for Kotzer, guarded by Osby, 12 on the shot clock. Kotzer surveying the scene, pass down low, taken away by Babb. Babb will push for the Claws, off for Almond. Open 3 is up and way off, an air ball. Marshall tips it into Curry as he was going out of bounds. Seth Curry bounces it for Kotzer, wide open dunk for him. The lane all to himself, and Kotzer, one of the top shooters in the D-League field goal percentage-wise at 61. That is 4th in the D-League, cuts the lead to 3, 45-42. Babb goes over to Osby, 28 feet from the hoop, back for Babb. Babb on the deck, and Osby a left wing 3. Too short, rebound McGuire again. McGuire lobs it for Armstrong, and the foul's going to be called on Osby. He held Hilton Armstrong there.
That was a great seal by Armstrong. Typically, you want your big man to run from one end of the court on the block to the other end of the court on the block. But if you're able to seal him off and around the free throw line for a lob over the top, that's perfect. And Dominic McGuire alertly delivered the pass.
Hilton Armstrong, I call him one of the craftiest guys in the D-League. He got 2 of those rip-through, kind of swing-through fouls against Rio Grande Valley, then another where he felt Troy Daniels on his shoulder and just went into a shooting motion. Now this guy's picked up some tricks of the trade in his years of professional basketball. Hit the first, he has 6 points and 3 rebounds now. Considered the number 8 prospect in the D-League. Second free throw good as well, it's 45 to 44, under 2 minutes to go. Almond gives it to Gaddy. Gaddy, guarded by McGuire.
Santa Cruz playing another possession in zone, and we've seen. I think we've seen more zone tonight than I've seen from a Santa Cruz team. Maybe that is the reason why Maine is getting a lot of these offensive rebounds, because it's tough to rebound out of the zone.
It really is. Gaddy behind the back dribble, taken away by Jones, and we're going to have a foul called.
It's going against Gaddy, right?
Yeah, it has to be. There were 2 9s on the play, Jones and Gaddy. It's going to go on Abdul. And that's a loose ball foul as well, so Jones is going to be shooting free throws. Jones limping a little bit. So Jones will have a chance to give Santa Cruz the lead. Speaking of birthdays, at Will Buford's today. Talked about Cam Jones will turn 25 in May. So the Santa Cruz fans here won't get a chance to wish him a happy birthday unless the D-League playoffs suddenly become best of 5 and get extended into May. That's not going to happen. As far as I know, it'll be best of 3 again. Both free throws, no, the second one not good, the first one was, and we have a foul that's going to be called, I think, on Zeke Marshall. Yes. And again, it was Hilton Armstrong right in the thick of it. Ty Walker's going to come in after the first free throw. Armstrong 7 points now after hitting both of his last 2 free throw attempts. 56% shooter from the field. Usher led the team in D-League in shooting percentage at 63%, 62.8. First free throw no good for him. Walker comes in, Zeke Marshall out. That was Marshall's second personal. So now Santa Cruz can take the lead on this second free throw. Another attempt to reclaim the edge here near the end of the first half. Armstrong freebie up and no good as well. And at the half, we'll have a Phil Hubbard with us, assistant coach for Santa Cruz. Drew will join him on the court. So both free throws miss. It's Bell Holter over for Gaddy. They go right angle. Santa Cruz in the zone again. He goes to the free throw line, fading away from 12. Wide right. Off the glass and nothing else. Here's Cameron Jones driving right all the way to the hoop. Puts it up and he's swatted by Walker. Bell Holter out ahead. Gaddy has a 2-on-1 with Almond. Gives it off to Almond. Passes it back. Open right wing three. Babb cashes it home. 48-45 Red Claws. A minute remaining here in the first half. Curry bounces it for Armstrong. Working on Walker. Armstrong down low for Jones. That pass taken away. It's Babb. Babb with numbers. Babb to the rack. Reverse layup, no good. Bell Holter puts it up and he is fouled. Fouled by Hilton Armstrong, who readily admits that he committed the crime. That'll be his second personal foul. 2 free throws coming up for the Alaskan. Damon Bell Holter. He played his college ball at Oral Roberts. His first team All-Southland as a senior. The Red Claws just 4 for 8 from the foul line so far, make it 4 for 9. Bell Holter 74% from the charity stripe himself. Let's take a look at his last rebound. It was the 15th offensive rebound for Maine. And zone or not, that's still a high number for offensive rebounds. Second one is good, 49-45. Seth Curry will bring it up. Has it. Goes to the angle, dribble, hand off Jones. Left wing for Walele, who's back in there. Daniel going right. He has 2 personal fouls. That's why he hasn't been in there in a while. McGuire left wing. 8 on the shot clock, 26 game. Crossover dribble to the rack. Throws it up through contact and will go to the line. Damon Bell Holter doesn't agree with the call, but he does pick up the personal. And that'll be his second. 2 free throws coming up for McGuire. So far today, McGuire with 6 points and 8 rebounds. He's 1 for 2 from the line. Yeah, that's definitely a positive statistic. You have guys like Dominic McGuire and Will Buford off the bench, but Michael Thompson also has 7. Second one's good as well, so it's 49-47, and Maine will hold for the last shot. Shot clock is off. Under 20 seconds to play in the first half. Here's Gaddy, guarded by Jones. 12 now, screen from Walker. Now uses it into the corner. Almond contested 3. Another air ball for Almond. 6 to go here. It's McGuire, bounces it for Walele. Almond taps it out of bounds. 2.6 to go. It'll be on the baseline for the Sea-Dubs. Left baseline inbounds for Walele. Joined on the court by Kotzer, Jones, Curry, and McGuire. Walele slaps the ball, looks for somebody, has to get it off, throws it into Curry. Curry with 1, puts it up from 28. It's up and off the backboard, no good. Guarded well there by Abdul Gaddy. And at the half, Mike Taylor has to appreciate his team's effort. They lead the Santa Cruz Warriors by 2 to the Maine Red Claws, 49-47. And Drew Schiller is with the assistant coach, Phil Hubbard, of the Santa Cruz Warriors. And here he is with the Santa Cruz Warriors assistant coach. Here is Drew and Phil.
Maine averaging only 12 offensive rebounds per game. Tonight, already 15 in the first half. How do you clean that up in the second half?
We got to do a better job of gang rebounding. Everybody stay in, no leak outs. They're just getting way too many offensive opportunities. Get a good stop, but we got to do a better job on the board.
Coach, it seemed like we saw more zone defense out of you guys in the first half than we've seen in past games. Is that something specific to this game or something you want to work on more going forward?
We're in the back-to-back. We're trying to save our legs and make sure that we're doing a smart thing to get ready for the second half.
Coach, 25 of the 47 points tonight coming from the bench. Must be nice having that kind of production, guys like Dominic McGuire and William Buford.
Well, we're really happy about our bench. As long as they can produce like that, we'll be extra happy.
Appreciate it, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
All right, thank you, Drew. We'll take a break now, come back with the first half stats, then some highlights. It's 49-47 Maine at the break. We'll be back in 90 seconds. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. alongside Drew Schiller. Here at the break, it's 49-47. Santa Cruz trails Maine as we have 24 minutes to play. Let's take a look at the first half stats. And Drew, I see a couple of circles on your stat sheet. What has really stood out to you? Obviously, the offensive rebounds is one thing, but what else?
It's kind of strange. Usually when a team gets a lot of steals, and this Maine team, or excuse me, when they get a lot of block shots, they lead the D-League in blocks. You'd think they might get a lot of steals as well, a defensive-minded team, but they're last in the D-League entering tonight in steals per game at just 7. But Santa Cruz has already turned the ball over 9 times. 5 steals for Maine, and that's enabled them to get out in transition and get some easy baskets. So when you look at the stat sheet, you would think Santa Cruz would be down by more than 2.
Yeah.
But when you hit 6 3-pointers like Santa Cruz has, it's the equalizer and it keeps you in the game.
Yeah, Santa Cruz 6 for 8 from beyond the arc, 75%. They're coming off their best, or tied for best performance from beyond the arc, 54% against the Rio Grande Valley Vipers in that game, a 127-115 victory.
13
right now,
to 24, right?
13 for 24. Second time they have put together a 54.2% shooting performance from downtown. Santa Cruz is led by 2 guys off the bench, Will Buford and Dominic McGuire. They both have 8. You talked a little bit about the bench production, and a good point from Phil Hubbard. Coming off a back-to-back, or on the back end of a back-to-back, you need everyone to really contribute.
And he said they're also playing some zone defense to try to save Santa Cruz's legs a little bit, but they also don't play for 8 days. So I think you're in a situation where in the second half here you can get out of that zone, and you just got to try to get a win because you don't play for 8 days. You don't want to have that taste in your mouth for a long time. No. Santa Cruz wants to make sure they come away with this win tonight.
Well, taking a look at some individual stats, Chris Wright, and this is a product of the offensive rebounding, but he already has a double-double with 12 points and 11 rebounds.
He's got 9 offensive rebounds. That's unbelievable. Now, some of those have come because he's missing bunnies inside, and then he's in position to get the rebound, and he obviously knows that he's going to miss it because the guy who shoots it probably has the best idea of where the ball is going to go. But, I mean, you look at Santa Cruz's big men, Deadman, Armstrong, they got to get inside there and rebound and keep Maine off the offensive glass, specifically Chris Wright. Yeah, Dwayne Deadman with just 3 rebounds. Of course, he's been saddled by foul trouble. He already has 3 personal fouls. That's kind of the one thing that has really hindered him from taking that next step. He has been so good when he's on the floor, but he always picks up, not always, but oftentimes he will pick up early fouls, and that will lead to reduced minutes for him. Yeah, he's had some big performances. However, in the showcase, did not really come out with some big games. Only 6.5 rebounds, and that's his calling card, is on the defensive end. He's so active, and he can get extra possessions for you on the offensive glass, or he keeps guys off the offensive glass on the other end of the floor. So he's got to be smart. He can't pick up some of those cheap fouls, and they were definitely fouls. He got 1 offensive foul early in the first half as well. So Santa Cruz, to only be down 2 right now, they're definitely not playing good basketball. So you got to like where you're at, actually, if you're Casey Hill, because you could be looking up at a 10 to 12 point deficit. So is it just as simple as telling the guys, all right, we got to rebound more? Energy, effort. They got to want this game. This is a Maine team who's out here on the West Coast. They got to go to Bakersfield. They got to go to LA. You don't play for 8 days if you're Santa Cruz. You got to leave it all out there tonight. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, some first half highlights. Maine 49, Santa Cruz 47. We'll be back in a minute and a half. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network.
49-47 Maine at the break. Kevin Dana alongside Drew Schiller as we take a look at some first half highlights. And Santa Cruz has done some good things, as we have seen. First, you're going to see Seth Curry here pulling up for the jumper. It's good to have him back because at the end of that Fort Wayne game, Santa Cruz really wasn't able to get any good looks down low.
Yeah, Curry only 4 points, though, on 2 of 7 shooting here in the first half. So he's probably wanting to get back out here as soon as possible and put that first half behind him.
That was the big highlight. Buford for Michael Thompson on the alley-oop. Ty Walker's made his presence felt down low. He has 2 blocks. And Chris Wright has done a lot of good things. 12 points, 11 rebounds. Chris Babb has 10 points as well. He's the only other guy in double digits. And here's that Chris Wright dunk on the feed from Romero Osby.
And that's definitely a good way to end the highlights because that was definitely the highlight of the first half.
So Maine leads 49-47. We'll be back in a minute and a half to take a look around the D-League. Kevin Dan alongside Drew Schiller. 49-47 Maine. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. (49-47) Maine leads Santa Cruz. 24 minutes down, 24 to go. The second half will start in about 3 minutes. So before that, let's take a look around the D-League. 6 games going on around the association's minor league tonight, and 3 of those are final. We start in Pennsylvania, where the Erie Bayhawks secured their 4th win of the season to move to 4-12 after beating the Canton Charge 113-109. Jorge Gutierrez had 26 points to pace the Charge in a losing effort. Canton scored 41 points in the 4th quarter, but they fell 4 points short. Scott Suggs, Abdul Gaddy's teammate at Washington, had 24 to pace the Bayhawks, as he had a very good second game at the Showcase, and Erie has now won 2 in a row after an 0-7 start, and the Bayhawks are starting to play better basketball now. They are 4-5 in their last 9. The Austin Toros demolished the Fort Wayne Mad Ants in Indiana, 119-90. Nando DiColo on assignment from the San Antonio Spurs had 22 points. Ron Howard, Mr. Mad Ant, led the Mad Ants with 18 points in a losing effort. Tulsa, they're also starting to play some good ball, 4-3 in their last 7 after a 1-11 start. The 66ers are 5-14 after defeating the Sioux Falls Skyforce, a team that has now lost 3 in a row from the Showcase, make it 4 in a row, including a game before the Showcase where they went 0-2. So the Skyforce fall to 11-7 after losing 99-92 to Tulsa. Justin Hamilton, 20 points and 11 rebounds for the Force, and Mario Little had 27, the former Kansas Jayhawk, to lead the Tulsa 66ers. Andre Robertson was on assignment in that game from the Oklahoma City Thunder. And now we have our 4th game that has gone final, and it was a wild one. Move over Pierre Jackson. You now have company as at 49 points in a game to lead, to have the not the all-time high, but the season high in individual points for a game. Manny Harris had 49 today in the 133-124 win over the Idaho Stampede. A huge game for him. Pierre Jackson with his second straight 28-point game. He also had 8 assists. And so the Idaho Stampede, the big news there for Santa Cruz is that Idaho is 11-8 now. Santa Cruz is 11-8 as we speak. And so if Santa Cruz can find a way to win this game, they will have a half-game lead in the West Division. There's one other game going on right now, and it's in Bakersfield, where the Reno Bighorns had a 65-50 halftime lead. Right now with 10:43 to go in the third, it is 65-53 Bighorns. They are looking to improve to one game above 500, something that they weren't able to do at all last season. Joel Abelson's done a very nice job there. So as we get ready for the start of the second half, Santa Cruz 46% from the floor, 75% from downtown, but just 64% from the line, and they are being out-rebounded by Maine 31-21. Maine 39% from the floor, but 15 offensive rebounds. Santa Cruz's defensive rebounding percentage in the first half, right around 54-55%. That has to improve, the zone or not. The zone has worked very well initially. Now it's all about gang rebounding, as assistant coach Phil Hubbard said. The Red Claws 31% from deep, 4 for 13. And the assists, 11 for Maine, 12 for Santa Cruz, 8 turnovers for the Claws, 9 for the C-Dubs. So the 5 on the floor for Santa Cruz to start the third quarter. It will be Dwayne Dedman, Seth Curry, Hilton Armstrong, Daniel Walele, and Cameron Jones, the starters for Santa Cruz. And then for the Red Claws, Marcel Anderson, Ty Walker, Chris Wright, Romero Osby, and Chris Babb. So here we go. It will be Maine basketball to start this third quarter. Good crowd on hand here tonight. Won't be another home game for 11 days when Sioux Falls comes to town. That'll be Grind Out Hunger Night. Tonight is Superman Cape Night. As you see some fans, someone walking up one of the aisles over there with the yellow cape or gold. And Babb will throw it into Marcel Anderson as we get ready for the start of the third quarter. And here we go. We're ready to begin the second half, and it's Marcel Anderson to bring it up, working on Seth Curry. Santa Cruz starts off in a man-to-man defense. It's Babb, gets it from Romero Osby, takes it left side, looking for right down low. It's not there. Good post defense initially by Walele. Over to the right angle, 3 up from Osby and in. He's 44% from deep, and he shows why. It's 52-47 Maine now, 24 seconds into the second half. So Seth Curry across the timeline, guarded by Anderson, whips it to the high post for Armstrong. 18 feet from the rack, goes dribble, handoff, Curry. Curry around the screen, no looker down low for Dedman, who slams it down. And there's his second bucket of the game. Dedman has 4.
And that's already Curry's 6th assist of the night.
He averages 7-point dimes per contest. That's second in the D-League. Anderson, overhead pass. Osby right down the lane, met by Armstrong, and he lays it in. Was bumped in midair, no foul, 54-49. Good, strong finish for Romero Osby.
Well, the referee signaled that Hilton Armstrong went straight up, and he has the right to do that, the rule of verticality.
There it is. The backdoor look not there for Seth from Hilton. He gets it over on the left wing. Now, Curry off the glass, no good from 18.
He tried to bank that one, though.
Yeah,
you could
he
tell.
did. He usually doesn't. Right to the rack, lays it up and in with the left hand. Man, he's been impressive. And according to Mark Spears of Yahoo Sports, he was one of the top, as Daniel Walele gets fouled on the layup attempt. He was one of the top prospects in the showcase, according to one NBA scout. So Chris Wright, Dwayne Dedman found his name on that list in that tweet from Mark Spears. So a couple guys who are playing here today. Richard Howell and D. Boss from the Idaho Stampede.
How many GMs were in attendance, Kevin?
There were quite a few. I ran into Daryl Morey at the lunch line. Very pleasant guy, yes.
Yeah, that must have been a highlight of the trip, possibly.
Yeah. Second free throw, no good. Armstrong goes back up and slams it down with 2, 56-52. And the lead's been cut to 4. So a missed free throw works out well there. Walele has 4 now. Anderson, left side, bounces it to the block for right, working on Walele, forces the tough shot. It's an air ball, and Armstrong comes away with it. Seth out ahead across the timeline, right side, dribble handoff for Jones. Cam, nice feed down low for Dedman, another dunk for Dwayne, 56-54. 9:54 to go here in the third quarter. It's Chris Wright over for Babb, into the corner for Anderson. Left side, puts up a 3, chucks it in. 59-54. Nice looking shot there for Marcel Anderson. He has 5. 9:38 as it's Walele. Pulls up for an 18-footer and cashes it. Got a nice screen there from Hilton Armstrong. 59-56. The offense picking up here to start the third.
First bucket for Walele in quite some time.
Osby, another 3 over Hilton Armstrong this time. And Romero Osby quickly is into double digits. He now has 15 points, 62-56, or make it 12 for him. Between the rings, Dedman over to the left wing for Curry. Curry down low, left block, Armstrong spin move on Walker, and great altered shot. He passes off instead. Walele hits the corner 3. I thought he was trying to go up at first, and then a nice feed at the last moment, an emergency pass.
Yeah, it looked like he may have landed before he delivered it to Walele.
Ty Walker making a big impact defensively, but it's just a 3-point lead for Maine. Anderson to the rack, swatted by Hilton Armstrong. That's going to be a goaltend. So 64-59.
And I know that it's really difficult because it's a split-second decision when a big man leaves his feet. As we get a look at the replay, and I'm not sure that ball was on its way down. I think it was maybe at the peak
and he
of its
definitely
point,
slapped it off the backboard. It didn't hit the backboard.
Oh no,
first,
definitely not.
But
But what I was going to say was, if there's any doubt, do not block it.
Yeah. Alley-oop for Dedman from Seth Curry, 64-61. The Santa Cruz dunk show is back in action. 3-point lead. Anderson driving left, spin move in the lane, lays it off for Walker, lost the handle, gets it back, falling out of bounds for Osby. Cross-court pass, it goes. Anderson, an open 3, too strong, top of the backboard, and it will be last touched by Dwayne Dedman. I thought that it hits the top of the backboard. It should be out of bounds. But it's going to be...
As we get a look at the replay, I can't see it going off the top of the backboard, but...
So perhaps it didn't.
It might have to completely go over.
Yeah.
Josh Shipp.
Yep, Josh Shipp.
UCLA from 5-6 years ago.
That shot well short from Chris Babb. Another attempt around and out, and Santa Cruz gets that rebound. UCLA should have gotten a technical foul after that shot, if you ask me. They got lucky that game. Seth Curry.
It was a lucky weekend for the Bruins.
Yeah, let's not talk about the game before that. This will turn very quickly into a Homer broadcast. Needless to say, it's one of the worst calls I've ever seen. Free Lawrence Hill. And in that game, Cal really got jobbed also.
I thought we weren't going to talk about it.
I wasn't going to talk about the game before.
Okay.
I mean, you can't rush onto the court. That's a technical foul. That was Operation Protect UCLA's 1 seed. Walele, fadeaway Jay's good. 64-63.
After Steph Curry's game winner against the Dallas Mavericks, Nemanja Nedovic ran onto the floor and gave Curry a big chest bump, and there was still time in the game.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Could have
the
been a
whole bench.
That's true.
Osby left corner. Of course. I appreciate it. Blocking foul as Osby goes to the rack. Called on Seth Curry, who tried to draw the charge. 7:26 to go in the third. That was a heck of a shot from Josh Shipp, though. I will say that. But before that, Ryan Anderson was murdered, and they didn't call a foul.
And for the thousands of viewers who are listening to us right now, we are referring to a weekend in March of 2008.
I want to say that game was March 9th, the UCLA-Cal game. Saturday afternoon. Here's a look at the replay.
A Stanford UCLA game and a Cal UCLA game is what we were talking about.
Seth
but
Curry
back to this
moving,
game.
I think
he was moving. He was not in position. And that was like a Bill Walton tangent we were on. That was fun.
Yeah.
Now I know what it's like to be him.
Offensive rebound for the Claws. It was Ty Walker who did the deed, and Maine will get a new 24. They've used 8 of it already. Crossover dribble. Anderson, top of the key, gives it off. Osby, another 3. Yes! Oh, Romero Osby is on fire from downtown. He has 16 points. 68-63. He can really shoot the three. Left wing, Curry gets fouled.
Yeah, hand check.
Marcel Anderson.
Kevin Walton had some gems last night in the Arizona UCLA
I was
game.
unable to get audio of that game. I was watching that at
you were
at a restaurant in Reno, yeah.
He had some gems.
But if there's any question about who the #1 team in the country is, well, it's definitely Arizona. Curry driving left, step back three over Anderson. Yes, sir! 68-62, big bucket there.
That's got to be frustrating for Anderson because he played great defense. He cut Curry off, but he kind of lost his balance when Curry initiated some contact, and that gave Curry the space to knock it down. Anderson trying to get him back.
And he does! 71-66 from the left wing. Marcel Anderson, he has 10 points. He only averages right around 6.5. Curry driving left, gets to the block. Now we'll bring it out a little bit, sends it north to Jones. Gets a screen from Armstrong. Driving right, pull-up jumper from 8 feet out. Teardropper misses, but it's poked out by Armstrong. Curry from 28, wide left, and Armstrong is going to be fouled by Ty Walker.
Armstrong working hard. He tipped out the previous miss from Jones to get Santa Cruz an extra possession, and they're fighting hard, and always a little bit of acting with Hilton Armstrong. He's able to sell that and get the call.
Zeke Marshall and Abdul Gaddy.
And I mean that I'm complimenting Hilton Armstrong. He is very good at, right there, flailing the arms a little bit. That's a compliment, Hilton. Don't be mad at me.
I wouldn't be surprised if we hear from Hilton after the game next time Santa Cruz plays a home game.
It's smart. He's a veteran. He knows how to do those little things. That is a compliment.
Here's Curry, left wing.
Cannot reiterate that enough.
Driving right. Teardropper no good. Puts it up. Again, not quite. Hilton gets the offensive rebound and gets fouled going up. And I'm not sure what he was going to do with that basketball, but he draws the foul. And again, Hilton, the crafty move.
Gotta think of a nickname for Hilton. Give me some time.
Yeah.
And I'm not promising I'm going to even come up with something.
Big H at the foul line right now. That's the first thing that comes to mind for me, I guess. First free throw for Hilton's good, makes it 71-67, and he joins the 10-point scorers category. Out of UConn. Now coached by Kevin Ollie. He's doing a very nice job there. Of course, Hilton played for the great head coach Jim Calhoun. He makes both 71-68. And he has 11, so it's a 3-point lead again for Maine, who refuses to give up this lead. Santa Cruz back into his zone. It's right, top of the key. Skip pass goes to Babb in the corner, down low, right block. Marshall back out. A deep three for Marcel Anderson, no good. The zone forced him out there, and Jones gets the rebound. Jones driving left, working on Addy. Gaddy to the rack, and a late whistle. He will go to the line. 5:36 to go. That takes us to our mandatory timeout. A little more than midway through the third. Maine 71, Santa Cruz 68. Back in a flash. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. 71-68, Maine leads Santa Cruz with 5:36 to go in the third quarter. Kevin Dan alongside Drew Schill. Let's take a look at some recent replays. Beautiful feed from Seth Curry. You talked about it, Drew. He has had a nice day dishing off the basketball, 7.7 assists.
Only 3 turnovers. The elite point guards, their assist-to-turnover ratio is 3-1. The super-duper elites are 4-1, although I don't even know if there are any of those in the NBA at this point. Not even Chris Paul, but Curry, a little over 2-1, so you can't be disappointed in that.
Cameron Jones is at the line for 2. And so far today for Killicam, he has 6 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, no turnovers, 2 boards. Hits the first. This is a guy who averages right around 21 points per game. He's 10th in the D-League in scoring. Seth Curry is in the top 10 at 21.8. He is 7th in the D-League in scoring. Second free throw, good, so it's down to 1. Santa Cruz now 70% from the foul line. Maine just 50%. 5.5 to go in the third. Anderson over to right. Zone look, and Marshall gets fouled going up as he got inside. Nice feed. Hilton Armstrong picks up the personal. That's his third, and Zeke Marshall will go to the charity stripe. Zeke Marshall, a guy out of Akron. True 7-footer, 235. Just turned 23. He has 2 points, 2 rebounds tonight. Was claimed by Reno in early December, then was traded to Maine. As he misses the first free throw, played in a couple of summer league games with the 76ers. He was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year as a senior and the 2011 MAC Tournament MVP. Second one no good as well, and the rebound, it's finally taken away by Devin. Nice outlet pass for Jones, but it's tipped out by Abdul Gaddy. No, last touch by Cameron Jones, says Crystal Hogan. Now Don Hudson, I think, is going to restore order on the court. Let's see if he overrules Hogan.
Cam Jones seems oddly confident, and he is correct.
All right, and let's see what Daniel James Howell whips up for us. He did not touch the ball.
No, I think Gaddy did tip it.
No, I'm talking about Cameron Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely Gaddy touched it. Curry, right baseline inbounds. Over to Jones. Puts it on the deck, right side. Gets to the free throw line, driving left, off the glass. No, McGuire, yes, he just checked in. And he has a double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds.
Great anticipation. He saw the big man was going to try and go block the shot. And typically when that happens, there is openings on the weak side rebounding. McGuire sprinted right to it and got rewarded.
Crossover dribble, Anderson down the lane, floater up, no good, tipped up and swatted off the goal by Dwayne Devin. They're going to say goaltending, though.
But you're allowed to knock it off.
Yeah, I thought that was FIBA, baby. You're allowed to knock it off. Here it is. And
the ball hit the rim, and he knocks it off the rim, right?
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. The basket counts.
Well, what else could the explanation be?
Love to get the explanation from Michael Pearson. And let's get another angle at it. Oh, I think maybe Dwayne Devin went through the rim initially. That's what it was. And yeah, basket interference. So that was the right call.
Okay.
Daniel James Howell and Craig Justin doing a great job to give us that second angle. 73-72. Daniel Walele, left angle, driving right, gives it off for Seth Curry, right side into the paint, free throw line, driving left. Lobs it out. Walele, 5 on the clock. Down low, left block. It's Devin. Running hook in the lane over Marshall, in and out. And tipped up, taken away by Abdul Gaddy. Gaddy across the timeline. Chest pass to an open Bab into the corner. Marcel Anderson left alone, and he drills it. 76-72, Maine by 4.
Anderson has had a very solid game tonight. 13 points now with that 3, 4 assists, just 1 turnover.
Curry throws it out. Jones down the lane, fading away. Floater gets the friendly roll, and Cam Jones has 10. It's 76-74 Claws. 3:55 to go in the third. A whole lot of offense here in the second half. Gaddy has his pass taken away, just as you were complimenting him. Walele to Jones for 3. Too short. Curry gets the offensive rebound. Curry, 18 feet, now beyond the arc. Screen from Devin, he refuses. Right elbow, throws it out. Open 20-footer for Dwayne, too strong. Anderson with the one-hand pull down. Marcel Anderson with the rock out of Harris Stowe State, an NAIA school in St. Louis. Goes top of the key, right, driving left, to the rack, puts it up, no good, tips it up, gets his own miss, loses it off his leg out of bounds.
That was impressive, though. He expects himself, it's kind of sad, to miss every single shot. Because when he shoots it, he immediately is going right back to get the rebound.
Yeah, I know they teach you to follow your own shot. I've always kind of disagreed with that. Because I think if you follow your own shot, then you just kind of expect yourself to miss every time.
Well, that, and if you're so intent on following it, sometimes it can actually mess up your shot.
Yeah,
you might rush it, or you might shoot it too long. You got to shoot it without thinking you're going to miss, and then once you release it, if you really know that it's off, then go follow it.
I never follow my shot. I always think they're going in.
Well, that's just because, you shoot it. You just probably start running down the other end of the floor.
I am pretty wet from downtown
if you have all the space in the world, if no one's challenging it,
Here's Seth Curry.
When you're by yourself in a gym.
Driving right off the glass and in. No, I can hit it in pickup games as well. 76-76, we're all tied up. Seth Curry now with 9 points, 2:45 to go in the third. Between the rings, it's Marcel Anderson. Screen from Osby, passes it out to Romero. He'll drive right into the corner. Gaddy for his second three. This is well short. Osby, the offensive rebound from 17, too strong. Tipped up and taken away by Cam Jones. Jones will bounce it for Curry. 2:26 to go in the third, all knotted up at 76. It's 29-27 Santa Cruz in the third. Step back J from Curry. You betcha. Oh, that was pretty. 78-76, Seth has 11.
That was nasty more than it was pretty.
That was a league move there from Seth Curry, former Memphis Grizzly for a couple of weeks. Gaddy to the low block. Osby guarded by McGuire. 2 minutes to go. Bounces it. Gaddy extra feed. Bab, they repost Osby.
Travel,
He's called for a travel. 1:57 to go in the third. 78-76, Santa Cruz leading Maine. We'll take a break.
And Osby politely gives the ball to the referee. We talked about that. Nice guy.
Minute and a half is when we will be back. You're listening to Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and watching it on the NBA Development League Network. (78-76) Santa Cruz with the lead with 1:57 to go in the third. Seth Curry with a nice game so far, 11 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds for him. And here is Seth Curry taking it to the rack. A nice little scoop to the hoop for him. And then here he is putting it up. And one more time, the step-back jumper. That is filthy.
Nothing Anderson can do about that one.
It'll be Santa Cruz basketball out of the timeout after the Osby travel. It's Curry, Jones, McGuire, Walele, and Dedman for the Sea-Dubs. And for the Lobsters, it's Gaddy along with Bab, Walker, Osby, and Chris Wright. Right wing, Curry goes over left side. Jones fakes the feed one way, puts it on the deck. with the left-hand dribble. Angles right now. Trying to get around Babb. Pulls up from 15. Well contested around and out. No good. Rebound Osby. Bounces it off for Gaddy. Gaddy now over to the right angle. Babb, nice feed down low. Right, swatted by Dedman, but a foul. And that's a hard hit that Chris Wright took. He is still on the floor.
And Dedman is not happy with the call.
As that is Dwayne's
But now you just
personal.
hope that Wright can get up and be okay. He strikes me as a pretty tough customer.
Yeah. He just did an inverted push-up there. He's all right. Here's the replay.
And that was just a volleyball block.
Yeah.
Going up to the net with two hands.
There was some contact.
Some contact. Oh, wow. He landed hard.
He landed hard, but he was off balance to begin with. Well, he's a tough guy. He's at the free throw line right now. Of course, he has to take these free throws or else he have to leave the game. Hilton Armstrong's going to come in for Dwayne. As Dwayne has 4 personals, but the first free throw from Chris Wright. As that one's up and in. Played his college ball at Dayton. He's the number 3 overall pick of the 2011 D-League draft by the Red Claws and then signed with Golden State. He was called up by the Warriors and assigned to Dakota 3 different times. Second free throw no good after making the first. McGuire gets another rebound. He has 12 boards. A double-double for Dominic McGuire off the bench. Seth Curry left side. On the bounce. Whips it to the left block. Armstrong muscling his way to the rack and throws it down and one! Working on Ty Walker.
And that was just too easy. Got the ball on the block, couple dribbles. Walker just kind of falls backward, doesn't really provide any resistance. Armstrong spins. And we saw him miss a couple of those on the first couple of possessions of the game. But there, no doubt about it, and one.
Hilton Armstrong, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Ty Walker picks up the personal. That's his 4th, so Zeke Marshall is right back in there. And Zeke Marshall has 4 personal fouls. We saw this with the Rio Grande Valley Vipers bigs yesterday. Of course, it hurt them that Robert Covington hurt his shoulder in that game, but Dario Hunt was in foul trouble, Tim Olbrecht was in foul trouble, and Hilton Armstrong completes the 3-point play. That really helped Santa Cruz win yesterday, defeating the defending D-League champs. 81-77, Santa Cruz has its largest lead of the game at 4. Chris Wright, left wing to the top of the key, it's Babb, driving left to the free throw line, 14 feet out, runner in the lane, he's fouled by Dominic McGuire, and a good move there by Chris Wright, got McGuire up in the air, and Chris Babb rather, excuse me. And Babb will be at the line. He has 10.7 assists, does Babb. This is a guy who does a little bit of everything. He missed a few games earlier this year. He's missed a couple, but he was reinserted into the lineup right around showcase.
Babb's got the Kaepernick arms with his tattoos.
Yeah, sure does.
Had to get a 49ers reference in there.
They're going to lose this week, I tell you.
0 chance of losing.
0 chance. Carolina's going to the Super Bowl.
What?
81-79.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, I've watched about 3 hours of football this season.
What are you, a big Cam Newton guy? Why are you thinking that?
Just sometimes these up-and-coming teams from the NFC South seem to have a little postseason magic every now and then.
And if you're referring to your Atlanta Falcons, the magic ended last year in the NFC title game before the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, no, the 98 Falcons, it's Hilton Armstrong. We do have a game. Drives left, gets fouled. He's back at the line. The 98 Falcons, the 04 Panthers, the New Orleans Saints that won the Super Bowl.
One
the
of those
Buccaneers,
teams.
2003.
Okay, okay. 02, yeah. True.
Yeah, 2002. They won it in 2003.
2003, yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl.
But you think they're the NFC participant?
Because they're going to win their home game and then they're going to beat Seattle on the road. That's my prediction.
Okay.
First free throw is good.
You NFC South homer.
I know. The Dirty Birds. They had a rough campaign. A lot of injuries. 83-79. Both of my 2 favorite NFL teams went 4-12 this year. 42 seconds
Well, that's a
to go.
good thing then that you're doing the D-League because you don't have time to watch much of it.
Right. Left wing 3 rattles it home. 83-82. 36 seconds to go in the third quarter. Santa Cruz with 36 third quarter points. Curry, the in and out dribble, working on Gaddy beyond the arc now. Gets a screen from Armstrong. Runner up and in from 15 for Seth. And S. Curry, follow him on Twitter, has 13 points to match his number. He gives Santa Cruz a 3-point lead. Gaddy just across half court. The shot clock is off with 11 seconds to go. Gaddy, crossover dribble, screen from Walker, fakes the handoff, now gives it to Osby. That's tipped into the backcourt, while Lele will get it with 2, puts it up at the buzzer, no, and McGuire couldn't quite get it in either. So that will do it for 3. A very exciting third quarter in which Santa Cruz outscores Maine 38-33. They now lead 85-82 with 12 minutes remaining. We'll be back in a minute and a half. You're listening to Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. Santa Cruz with the 3-point lead over Maine as we head into the fourth. Kevin Dan alongside Drew Schiller. Let's take a look at some third quarter highlights. Marcel Anderson has 3 threes in this game, including that one. Chris Wright has hit a couple as well.
You're going to see probably a barrage of threes on this highlight. And then there, Dwayne Dedman with the hard foul. Chris Wright, fortunately for Maine, was able to get up.
And Hilton Armstrong, 16 points, 8 rebounds, just shoving Ty Walker out of his way right there, telling him, I'm the number 8 prospect in the D-League for a reason.
The story of the first half was the offensive rebounding for Maine. 15 offensive rebounds they had, only 5 in the third quarter, so Santa Cruz cleaned that up. However, in the first half, Maine was 4 for 13 from the 3-point line, but now they're 11 for 25.
So that's 7 for 12.
7 for 12 in the third quarter from the 3-point line for Maine. And entering tonight, second to last in the D-League in 3-point percentage, under 32%. Well, they're 44% tonight, and that is why they're only down by 3 and in this ballgame.
Yeah, 31.8% from downtown on the season are the Maine Red Claws. That's not been the case thus far. Here's Seth Curry as we start the fourth. It's Curry, McGuire, Buford back into the game, Walele, and Armstrong. Nice feed down low for Armstrong, fading away. Jay is good for Hilton, and he has his legs back underneath him. 18 points for him, 87-82 Santa Cruz. 11:39 to go in the fourth. Osby has it between the circles and defers to Gaddy. Gaddy now bounces it over for Babb, who slides it to Osby. Just passing around the perimeter, driving left, Gasby off for right, a left wing 3. He is 2 for 3 now from downtown. Buford the board, gets it off for Seth. Seth right side, guarded by Gaddy, crossover dribble, screen from Armstrong, pulls up and hits from 17. And Seth Curry, he now has 15 points, 7 assists as well. Osby, 28 feet from the hoop. Going to get it to Gaddy, posting up on Seth Curry. Going to try to back his way down a little bit. Abdul, spin move, swatted by Seth, but a foul. So Abdul Gaddy will go to the foul line. Let's see if that was all ball or not.
Well, there was a lot of ball. There might have been some contact down below. One thing that I did not see Abdul Gadi do much in college was post up. But clearly, main thing, and they have an advantage with Curry guarding Gadi.
Missed the first. Here's the replay.
And it looked like a carry right there he might have gotten away with. And now we'll see if there was contact below. That's all ball. That is not a foul.
He might have gotten him on the side of the bicep. And what is that, the tricep? Or that's the back of the arm. Second free throw's good. I don't know my anatomy. It's 89-83 Santa Cruz.
You're not a doctor.
I am not a doctor. That is correct. But I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn last night. I stayed at the Silver Legacy. I'd much rather stay at the Silver Legacy too. As Seth Curry gets fouled by Abdul Gadi. Gadi picks up his third.
Oh, that worked out nicely for you. You legitimately did stay in a hotel last night.
I did. So Will Buford, the birthday boy, number 24. It is his 24th birthday. With 14 on the clock, he'll throw it in. Bounces it to Seth. Just to the right of the key, top of the key. Takes it left, 20 feet from the hoop. Man by Gadi, man-to-man for Maine. 7 on the shot clock. Here comes the screen from Armstrong. He goes left, puts it up, and is swatted. Saves it back in with one fading away while Lele just gets the rim, and the rebound is wrestled away by Osby. Gets it off for Gadi. Abdul to the right side. Man by McGuire. Santa Cruz man-to-man. 16 on the shot clock, 10-20 game clock. Post-entry feed, Osby and back out. Feeding it around the perimeter, and Babb's pass down low gets kicked out of bounds by Hilton Armstrong, intended for Ty Walker. So it is Gadi, Walker, Wright, Osby, and Babb for the Red Claws. And Walele, McGuire, Armstrong, Buford, and Curry for the Sea-Dubs. It's Gadi, right side, top of the key, Babb. Babb puts it on the deck once, now defers to Osby. 6 on the clock, down low it goes. Here's Walker, 3 on the clock, throws it out, just puts it up to Osby from deep, too short, and tipped up by Chris Wright. Oh man, what a play. He gets fouled.
Relentless on the offensive glass is Chris Wright.
He can't stop like a Flux Pavilion song, and he's going to the line for 2.
Like a what?
You hear that song, I Can't Stop, Flux Pavilion? They play it in like every commercial.
Okay.
I wish I could think of it. You definitely recognize it. Oh, it's the foul's on the floor. So Wright will throw it in and gets to Osby. Right wing 3 for Babb is too strong, and the rebound goes to Dominic McGuire. Seth Curry will bring it up, and he has to get it across the timeline, just does. And bounces it over for Buford. McGuire back to Seth. 10 on the shot clock. Down low it goes to Armstrong. Starting to impose his will down low. Here's McGuire fading away. Jay off the mark, and we're going to have a foul on Ty Walker. And there's Hilton Armstrong.
Did he
sell that call?
Maybe.
Ty Walker picks up his 5th.
Chris Wright giving him some words of encouragement.
Here,
we get a look at the replay.
Look at it.
Hopefully we'll have a little weak side.
Oh, Hilton. He must be smiling to himself inside.
Oh, has to be. And if we get a chance to talk to him after the game, I'll probably refrain from asking him that on camera. And there's the beautiful fake.
Yeah, he feels the contact and goes up, and will go to the foul line for 2 on the block. Gadi picks up that personal.
That is typically a play or a move that's reserved for shooting guards. I mean, Kobe comes to mind, obviously, but Armstrong has perfected it. If a defender is leaning his arm forward, he is going to go into the arm every single time and try to draw the foul, and he gets it a lot.
He misses the first free throw. Now, the season high for Hilton Armstrong is 22. While Lele is going to be replaced by Cam Jones, and Dwayne Dedman's going to come in to replace Dominic McGuire. Armstrong scored 22 against the Defenders on November 30th. He has scored 20 twice this season. He is 2 away from that mark right now, and 1 rebound away from his 3rd double-double this year. Second one's good. 90-83 Santa Cruz. The C-Dubs by 7 with 9:23 to go in the fourth. It's Abdul Gaddy, chest pass for Osby. Goes dribble handoff, Bab, left angle. He takes it baseline, gets around Jones, puts it up over Armstrong, can't lay it in. Altered the shot, no good. Bab wanted the foul. Jones, top of the key, gets to the elbow and will back it out. Has the baseline runner, Buford, and now they kick it to him. Wide open three for Will. Way strong there, and Gaddy gets the rebound.
But that was nice to see. Hilton made that pass from the top of the circle to the corner, and it was him who almost chased it down in the corner. He could have just sprinted back in transition, got back on defense, but he still went after the offensive rebound.
He is very locked in tonight.
Active.
7 on the clock for the Claws. Osby backing down. Curry gets fouled as he goes up. That's going to be the third team foul on Santa Cruz, and Mike Taylor applauds the effort there. He's also a motivational speaker, is Mike Taylor, the head coach for the Maine Red Claws in his second season. Known for his positivity is Taylor. Had a chance to talk to him at the showcase. Very good coach. As Osby's at the line for 2. That one's off the mark, no good. Kevin Kotzer is going to come in to replace Hilton Armstrong. It's not the last we've seen of Hilton.
A head coach by day and night, and a motivational speaker in his spare time. He must give some mean pregame and halftime speeches.
Yeah, and he does speeches, motivational speeches overseas as well in Europe. So he's international with it. Second free throw, too short as well. And Dedman gets the rebound for Dwayne. That's his 6th board. He also has 8 points, 4 fouls. Curry around a Kotzer screen, driving right. The teardrop up, no good, but he was fouled.
Marcel Anderson, second personal, 14 foul.
And for Marcel Anderson, he picks up personal foul number 2, and Seth is at the line. Seth this year, 84%. And the frat in attendance here is chanting MVP. Fraternity kids all standing.
I think it's a fraternity. I mean, it's got to be. They look young. Are we getting old?
I'm 27. You're about to be 27 in 19 days, 92-83. Sorry if you wanted to keep your age a secret.
I don't care. I'm just like, wow, you knew my birthday, right? 19 days, boom.
Yeah, January 29th. Chris right to the rack, and he's fouled by Dwayne Dedman. And that's his 5th.
I texted you on your birthday, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did.
I definitely did.
Yeah.
I remember.
I appreciated it. I got a lot of birthday texts because I'm a popular guy, so forgive me if I don't quite remember yours.
You have a little over 500 followers on Twitter.
But I do now.
Extremely popular.
Yeah, 521. Yeah, so Damon Bell Holter will come in. So Dominic McGuire is going to replace Dwayne Dedman. Romero Osby's going to take a breather. 92-84. Speaking of birthdays, Chris Wright's is September 30th, so he is 25. Second one for him is, it's going to fall in. Off the front rim, backboard, front rim, and down. And the Claws cut it down to 7. 8:13 to go. Zeke Marshall is at the scorer's table. Curry left side to the angle, bounces it for Kotzer. Spin move and a travel. Good call. 8:07 to go. Zeke Marshall, the former Zip, comes in, and he replaces Ty Walker, the number 29 prospect in the D-League. Ty Walker out of Wake Forest, North Carolina, Mr. Basketball in 2008 as a senior. Did high school basketball in North Carolina.
They have pretty good college basketball in North Carolina
do.
as well.
I think there's a couple of big schools from the ACC, and that post-entry feed is taken away by Cameron Jones. To the rack, puts it up and lays it in. Cameron Jones, the number 26 prospect, gives Santa Cruz a 9-point lead.
I don't know if there's anybody better in the D-League at using his body to shield defenders, to get shots off that nobody else can.
Gaddy, nice feed for Marshall off the glass and in. Abdul Gaddy is a true point guard, 94-87.
By the old school definition.
Yeah, by the old school definition, correction. Left wing Buford, down low for Kotzer, very effective on that block. Puts it up off the glass and in on cue. 96-87. Kevin Kotzer, the D2 player out of St. Mary's, Texas, has a nice array of low post moves.
And I like that Santa Cruz went right back to him. He traveled on the prior possession, but clearly they wanted to get him a touch and have him get a chance to get a shot.
Anderson, left angle, trying to get it to Zeke Marshall with 7 to go. Splits the double team, loses the handle, taken away by Seth Curry. Behind the back pass, it goes to Cameron Jones, who slips on the floor and calls timeout. 6:53 to go. And it's a 30-second break. And look at Kiwi Gardner race to the other side of the court to pick him up. So just let's take a look at it. And Seth Curry, how about this feed? Whoop! Sends it off to Cameron Jones and slipped on the floor. They'll wipe that up. You know, when I was a manager, Drew, when anyone slipped on the floor, at Stanford, I always took that personally. And it's it was my fault. I remember Mitch Johnson slipped and sprained his ankle once at a practice, and I thought it was because it was something I didn't wipe up.
Yeah, you can't control a lot of the sweat that's dripping off these guys every time down the floor.
So he's all right, though. 5 on the floor. It's Cameron Jones, Seth Curry, Will Buford, Dominic McGuire, and Kevin Kotzer. For Maine, Chris Wright, Damon Bell-Holter, Marcel Anderson, Abdul Gaddy, and Zeke Marshall. As we get some updated stats from the PR director of the D-League, best one. Will McLaren might have something to say about that in Maine. It's a pretty good one as well. Shout out to him. 18 seconds to go, fourth quarter, or on the shot clock, rather. 6:45 to go. The post-entry feed not there for Kotzer. Defended well by Marshall. 10 on the clock. Here's Seth Curry, left side, 18 feet out. Whips it over to McGuire with 5. Jab step at the free throw line. Moves in, shimmies it up, no good. And the rebound's taken away by Chris Wright. Who else? Wright has 14 rebounds. That's just his 3rd defensive rebound. 6:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Santa Cruz by 9. Anderson to the top of the key for Wright. Driving left, working on Buford. Throws it out. Bell-Holter, an extra feed. Anderson puts it up over Curry. Well short. Rebound Gaddy for Wright. Down the lane. Over McGuire. And no good. Can't get the roll. Rebound pinballs around. And finally, Dominic comes away with it. McGuire, chest pass. Curry, wide open. Left wing 3. Way strong. And a rebound goes to Marcel Anderson. He pushes. Drive over Jones and lays in. Finish. Strong take from Marcel Anderson. The Harris-Stowe State product. 96-89.
People are like, what? Harris-Stowe State? NAIA school in St. Louis.
There it is. Of course. I didn't have to look that up.
No.
Yeah, I did. All right, here's Chris Wright. And gets the blocking foul on Cameron Jones. As he takes it to the rack. Jones doesn't agree. Appeared to be the right call.
Oh, they called the charge?
Oh, they called the charge. Excuse me. Yeah. 5:28 to go in the fourth. It's 96-89. Let's take a look at this really quick before we send it away. Here's Chris Wright down the lane. Oh, we look to be moving.
Yeah.
But it will be
should have been a block.
Santa Cruz basketball on the other side of the break. 96-89 Santa Cruz. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. Santa Cruz ball by 7 with 5:28 to go in the fourth. Here's another angle of this charge taken by Cameron Jones. And
Cam leans into him, and then that was kind of a weird movement there by Cam Jones.
Again, that was Chris Wright who picked up the personal foul for those of you just listening on the radio. And that was his fourth. Chris Wright does have 20. And it's Santa Cruz basketball. Curry over the left wing. Jones down low, left block. Hilton Armstrong in there alongside Dwayne Devon. Top of the key three, Curry. Rain dance. 99-89. And Seth has 20 points. He had 4 in the first half. 5:06 to go, fourth quarter. Santa Cruz showing zone. Anderson, right side, Babb, top of the key, driving left, picks up his dribble, top of the key again. Osby reverses it right side, just passing around the perimeter. Now Osby straight away, 3 is short. Deadman's guys for the miss.
Maine now 0 for 5 from 3 here in the fourth quarter after a 7 for 12 performance in the third quarter.
It gets thrown over to Cameron Jones. Lobs it down low, Armstrong working on Marshall. Jab step, draws 2. Curry gets it into the corner, Walele to 14. Nice feed down low, Armstrong with 1 on the clock, he lays it in. 101-89, nice use of his body and the bucket to score there. It's a 12-point Santa Cruz lead, and free ice cream courtesy of Mission Hill Creamery. Goes left side, right, driving baseline, the feed for Marshall, and 1 for Zeke. And that cuts the lead down to 10. Zeke Marshall, this guy only averages under 3 points per game, but he has 8 today. 5 fouls, also 3 rebounds. He originally signed to play with Poland in September, and I bring that up because he replaced Derek Character, former second-round draft pick. There in Poland, he hits the free throw. His Character was waived due to physical problems. 101-92. Of course, he's here in the D-League now. Lead down to 9. Seth Curry getting Jones out of his way. Now goes to the left block again for Hilton, and it's stripped away by Marcel Anderson. No, a foul, and that's the 5th team foul on Maine. And so Hilton will go to the line with a chance to get a new season high. He's at 21 right now. Marcel Anderson picks up his 3rd. Been a lot of fouls in this game, seemingly, and that's at least the 25th for the Red Claws. 2 coming up for Hilton. He's 9 for 13 from the line in this one. First free throw for Hilton is good. Most free throw attempts in a game all time for a Santa Cruz Warrior is 14. Hilton Armstrong, March 12th against Reno of 2013. That was the first game as interim head coach for the Reno Bighorns for Jason Glover. Armstrong hits both, and so he has a new Santa Cruz Warrior individual game record with 15 free throws attempted and a new season high this year for him with 23. It's 103-92 Santa Cruz, 3:50 to go in the fourth. Top of the key, it's Anderson driving right, met by Curry, bumped and will go to the line. The shot was well short, but he drew the contact. Marcel Anderson's been very impressive today. He has 15 points, 4 assists, just 2 turnovers, a steal, a block, and 5 boards. 22 offensive rebounds for Maine as a team, just 7 in the second half compared to 15 in the first. Anderson hits the first free throw. That cuts it down to 10. Here's a look at his last drive as he went to the right of the lane, and Seth Curry picked up his 4th personal foul on that play. Second one in and out, and we're going to have a foul going against, I believe, Romero Osby or Zeke Marshall. It's going to be on Romero Osby, and that's his 3rd, and that's going to be more free throws for Santa Cruz. Kiwi Gardner's going to come into the game with 3:46 to go after the first free throw. See if he's going to get Seth.
At the line of the Warriors, number 34, Hilton Armstrong into the miss. Shooting.
2 free throws for Hilton Armstrong. So to put some more distance between himself and himself in the record book. Hits the first. He has 24. Kiwi replaces Seth Curry. And Kiwi gets a nice round of applause. Everybody loves Kiwi in Santa Cruz. Great teammate. 20-year-old out of the East Bay.
Are Kiwis in season right now? They should do some sort of promotional getaway with involving the fruit.
That's a great idea.
I'll have to talk to the marketing people here after the game.
Osby with it. Left side.
He gets 15 points. Everyone gets a free
Box
bag
of
of
kiwis. Bag of kiwis. Going baseline. Osby. Reverse layup is good. Went second side. Lefty finish for him. 104-95. Lead down to 9. Plenty of time for the Claws.
Mission Hill Creamery needs to develop a kiwi flavored ice cream.
Man. There you go. I think you found it right there.
Okay.
Down low to Armstrong, left block, and an offensive foul called on Hilton Armstrong. And Marcel Anderson tried to rip it away from
he's going to get teed up.
And he got teed up for kicking it away from him.
And that's just something you can't do.
Yeah. Hilton doesn't take that kind of stuff from anybody, though. It's going to result in a Chris Babb free throw. I kicked a basketball today too, actually.
Did you?
I was called for a travel at game point, 14-14 at the park. I definitely traveled because I can't dribble the ball at all. I have no handles.
Okay.
And there was some pressure on me, and they called travel. I didn't think they were, but when they called it, I just kicked it and went into the street.
So you were on a flight at what time this morning?
6 a.m.
That's when the flight left.
Yeah.
So you're at the airport at 4:30?
Yeah, 4:30.
Okay. You get home, you take a nap, and you go play some street ball.
Yeah.
Who?
Campbell Park, yeah.
And then you're here tonight.
104-96, 3 minutes to go in the fourth, as it's Osby on the left side.
Kevin Dana never stops moving.
Basketball never stops, Kevin Dana never stops. Here's Babb. Skip pass goes to the right angle. Anderson. He's called for a travel. Good defense there for Kiwi Gardner. 2:47 to go in the fourth. We'll take a timeout. Santa Cruz leading Maine by 8. We'll be back in a minute and a half. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network. 2:47 to go in the fourth quarter. 104-96 C-Dubs over the Lobsters as we enter the final stanza of regulation. The final segment of this game. Santa Cruz has taken charge here in the fourth. We see that last move from Kevin Kotzer. We see some Santa Cruz replays. Hilton Armstrong has really been the story today, Drew. So he has 24 points and 17 free throw attempts.
A season high 24 points for Hilton, which is somewhat surprising given how talented he is and how he's an NBA player.
He also has 10 rebounds, his third double-double. Dominic McGuire has his first double-double in the D-League with 10 points and 14 boards. Curry left side, dribbles to the angle.
And they're looking for Hilton.
They're going to post him up on Zeke Marshall, who has 5 fouls. Oh, it's there. They get it to him. 10 on the clock. Cycles it out. Right wing three. Jones too short. And Armstrong can't quite tip it in for his 11th board, but can't get his 26th point. 2:22 to go in the fourth. Maine down by 8 with the basketball. Plenty of time for the Claws.
That may have been a dagger had Cam Jones been able to knock that three down.
Top of the key, Babb down low. Great feed for Osby, who gets swatted, but a foul is called. Let's see who they get this on. If it's
going to be on Dedman, I think. Yep.
He's gone. That's his 6th. So Dedman is fouled out with 8 points and 7 rebounds and a blocked shot in about 25 minutes of action.
And Casey Hill, assistant coach Phil Hubbard, smartly pulling Dedman away because you don't want to pick up a technical here and give Maine a chance at a free throw to try to come back and win this game.
So there's Romero Osby at the line. And Osby so far today, 18 points, 8 boards. Also has 4 assists and a steal. But he's just 3 for 8 from the free throw line today. Hits the first. Last 2 years at Oklahoma, after 2 years and a transfer season at Mississippi State, first team All Big 12 as a senior. What'd you think?
That's not a foul. Dedman went straight up. Armstrong came in, blocked the shot. That's great team interior defense.
And Osby swishes both, so the lead's down to 6, 2:11 to go. Santa Cruz far from clinching this one. Curry across the timeline. The C-Dubs looking to get back to 600. And 12 and 8. Curry. Oh, he traveled as he got to the right elbow. Maybe the floor a little slippery in the painted area. Over by the right elbow near the main bench. 1:57 to go. Maine can cut it to 3 or 4 here with a bucket. Anderson across half court. Lobs it to Marshall, 20 feet from the hoop. Zeke will pass it off for Babb, almost wrestled away by Cameron Jones. Babb does get it, 10 on the clock, manned by Jones. Here comes the screen from Osby, 7 on the clock. Driving left, runs into McGuire, throws it out, top of the key, 3 for Romero Osby. And no good off the front rim into the hands of Dominic McGuire. And that would have cut it to 3. That looked good.
And McGuire got the rebound, turns, looks at the bench, and he's smiling, and Kiwi Gardner and Kevin Kotzer are smiling, so clearly we got an inside joke going on.
Armstrong to McGuire, gets swatted there by Chris Wright. Nothing to smile about there for
Seemed
Dominic.
like a kind of strange time for teammates to be smiling and laughing after getting a big rebound.
Though he is still smiling, is Dominic McGuire, 6 on the clock. McGuire's had a very good game today. While Lele to throw it in, and he bounces it to McGuire, has it left baseline, 4 on the clock, he has to go, working on right. No, Osby, the jumper is good for Dominic McGuire, a long 2, and Santa Cruz leads by 8 with 1:10 to go. That is big. Anderson to Osby. Osby pulls up from
right back
and
at
scores. 106-100, 60 seconds exactly left. Osby has 22. He's averaging 17 per game this season. Curry guarded by Anderson. 15 on the clock. Gets around him, throws it to McGuire. Bounces it right back for Seth, who has 20 tonight. 9 on the clock. Crossover, no, goes right. Picks it up, throws it to Jones. Pulls up from 16, too strong. Gets his own miss, a new 24, and they will have to foul. Curry will go to the line. 34.8 to play. A huge offensive rebound there. Cam Jones thought he had the little runner. It didn't fall. And Seth Curry will be at the line. Seth Curry, a very good free throw shooter. Curry this year in the D-League, 84%. At Duke, 81% from the foul stripe. At Liberty, the 1 year he was there before transferring to Duke, 83%. First free throw for Seth is good. It's 107-100. That might be it. 3-possession lead with 34.8 to go, though crazier things have happened. And free throw's good as well. That second one. Timeout's going to be taken by Mike Taylor. So 108-100. Santa Cruz leads by 8. And Drew, the C-Dubs are pretty close to putting this one away. So Santa Cruz will be on defense on the other side of this 30-second timeout. Two 20-point scorers from Maine, Chris Wright and Romero Osby with 20 and 22 respectively. Here's Dominic McGuire. Here's that last jumper he hit that really put Maine in a tough spot drills it over Romero Osby. That made it 106-98. Big bucket there for the former Fresno State Bulldog and California Golden Bear. 6-year NBA vet who's played with a whole lot of teams. The Washington Wizards drafted him. He's also played for the Golden State Warriors, Sacramento Kings, Toronto Raptors, New Orleans Hornets, Indiana Pacers, and Charlotte Bobcats.
7 teams? Is that 7?
What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7. In 6 years, no less. Journeyman, but he's quite the player.
He's finding himself a nice little niche here with the Santa Cruz team.
Osby hands it off. Babb for 3. He was fouled, and it almost went in. Cam Jones picks up his first personal, and this could be a 5-point game with 31.5 to go.
Santa Cruz makes its free throws. Well, they got to take care of the ball, not turn it over.
Yeah.
Well, Maine is going for the steal, and then they're going to try and foul.
Santa Cruz does have 2 timeouts remaining, so they can advance the ball, not to bring it up through their own backcourt. Babb at the line for 3. First one is good. Here's a look at that last foul. Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't look like much contact at all. Babb kind of slid away from Cam Jones.
Yeah, well, he has 2 more free throws. I'm not sure about that, but it's 108-102. Chris Babb played his college ball at Penn State and then Iowa State. Big 12 all defensive team as a senior. Spent this last summer league with the Phoenix Suns. A lot of professional rookies on this team. Abdul Gaddy, Chris Babb, a couple of them, Frank Gaines, who is inactive today. Timeout taken, all 3 free throws made, and it is 108-103. Sherwood Brown from Florida Gulf Coast recently added, but he has not played today. So you move the ball across half court out of the timeout, and obviously the plan's got to be to get it to Seth Curry, right, Drew?
Best free throw shooter. He wants the ball. Any point guard wants the ball in this moment. Point guard's typically your best free throw shooter, the guy you're expecting to be your best free throw shooter. So yeah, Santa Cruz definitely wants to get him the ball, get to the free throw line, make some shots, and get out of here with a win.
Yeah, obviously Maine's gonna try to be denying that. So how do you free him up? Screens, I'd imagine, but what's the best way to try to get a free throw shooter like Seth Curry free here?
Well, at times it's got to be just on Seth. He's just got to kind of improvise and find a way to get open, because they're going to be switching all screens. They're probably even going to be doubling Curry, and they might not even guard the ball, but it looks like Chris Wright's going to come. Although he's not getting too much pressure on it, he might just kind of help off. This looks easy. He's just going to pop right out and get it. Yeah. That's just way too easy.
And he draws 2. Almost got his trip, throws it over to Armstrong. And so I guess Maine, mission accomplished for them. They get it into the hands of Hilton Armstrong, who is a good free throw shooter, but he's not Seth Curry.
Curry shouldn't have given it up. He was able to split that double team, and he got into the paint. Should have just dribbled it around, dribbled it back out. But Hilton gets to add to his
season high
record.
Yeah, and his free throw attempts. He's 12 for 17 today. That's a little better than 70%. First one is good. And this next one would be big to push it out to a 3-possession game. It's 109-103 right now, 25.3 to play in the fourth. Santa Cruz by 6. Looking to get to 12-8. Maine trying to get back to 500. They're 8-9. And the last timeout going to be taken by Mike Taylor. So 110-103. And obviously, Drew, you don't want to foul a 3-point shooter again, but defensively, what should Santa Cruz be looking to do? You just allow him to get the easy 2 and not foul, or what do you do?
Take away all 3s, press up. The guy goes in and gets a layup. Obviously, you don't just want to let him just dribble right to the basket and lay it in. You want to have your bigs over-helping on anybody who's not a big 3-point shooter. So you can really kind of double team a couple guys, and you definitely don't want to allow a 3.
All right, it's 110-103. That's the last timeout for Maine. And Santa Cruz does have 1 remaining. Timeout issues were the reason why the Fort Wayne Mad Ants and Texas Legends had a resumption of a game played in November at the Showcase on Tuesday. They replayed that game with 9/10 of a second remaining in the fourth. Texas originally won that one 100-99 on a technical free throw they shouldn't have taken, or at least that's what the ruling was. And Texas actually lost that game. The resumption of it. 105-99, that was the official result. So we resume action. Anderson, baseline drive, kicks it out. Chris Babb, contested three, up and too strong. Marshall, the offensive rebound, back out right for Babb again. Left angle three, that one's an air ball. Marshall, another offensive rebound. Anderson, shot fake for three with 9 seconds, no good. Finally, Santa Cruz gets the board, and Dominic McGuire is going to be called for a travel with 6 seconds to go, though. That's probably Maine's last straw. This one's pretty much over with 6 seconds to go. You can do 8 points in 9 seconds. I don't know about 7 and 6. Wright will throw it in, lobs it to Osby, and they're already taking too much time off the clock. The fadeaway three is short. Santa Cruz gets the rebound, and that will do it. So Santa Cruz beats Maine by a score of 110-103, and Drew Schiller is going to get ready to go interview Hilton Armstrong. So the Santa Cruz Warriors improve to 12-8. The Maine Red Claws fall to 8-10. A hard-fought battle between these teams today. Maine controlled the vast majority of the first half. Santa Cruz took charge in the second. So Drew Schiller will be joined by Hilton Armstrong in just a little bit. But up next for Santa Cruz, they got a game in 8 days, so a little bit of a reprieve for the Sea Doves, though I'm sure Casey Hill will have them working hard in practice as the Santa Cruz Warriors get back to 600, and more importantly, for the moment, reclaim first place in the West Division after the loss had by the Idaho Stampede earlier today. The Stampede losing at home to the Los Angeles Defenders. They are now 11-8 with Santa Cruz at 12-8. Updating the score for you from Bakersfield, 102-100, Reno over the Jam with 2.5 minutes to go in that one. As we're still awaiting Hilton Armstrong, he's going to sign the shirt for the Santa Cruz Warriors fan of the game. D-League tradition here. After every game, fan of the game gets to have their picture taken with the player of the game. And so that is the current holdup. But Santa Cruz, a good night for them and a little 2-game winning streak. Santa Cruz entered that Rio Grande Valley game, losers of 4 of its last 5, but now 2 straight. And here comes Hilton Armstrong with Drew Schiller. And take it away, Drew.
Hilton, a season high 26 points for you tonight to go along with 11 rebounds. And are you aware that you broke a record tonight?
No, I don't know. Record for what?
19 free throw attempts. Oh. You broke your own record, Santa Cruz record, 14 in a game back in March. You were aggressive from the get-go. Did you have that mindset coming in?
Yeah, Casey's been telling me the last couple games just to play strong. Before that, I've been playing a little soft. I wasn't proud of the way I've been playing, but last 2 games he told me to be more aggressive, play strong, play to my strengths, and trying to take advantage of it.
Hilton, you guys allowed 15 offensive rebounds in the first half. Only 9 in the second half, and a couple of those came late when they were chucking up threes. Was that a point of emphasis at halftime?
Yes, definitely. They was crashing from the wings pretty hard, and it's hard for us to find a body, but once we started focusing in on that and cut that down, we were in good shape.
Hilton, with the win tonight, you guys don't play for 8 days. Did that change your mindset coming into the game, knowing you had a little bit of a break and how important this game was?
Not the break, but the importance of this game. My record isn't where we would like it to be, so we're trying to cut down and stop the bleeding and try to get a little streak going.
Appreciate it. Good luck. Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Drew. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap this one up with the final stats. Your final score here, 110-103, Santa Cruz over Maine. Back in a minute and a half. You're listening to and watching Santa Cruz Warriors basketball on KION and the NBA Development League Network.